Yeah, baby. Wonder if all my bad decisions get accounted in the algorithms. No statistician could dissuade me from my bigger vision. I know my occupation's quite an unlikely place in this world to occupy and talk about upon a daily basis. Our information's predetermined by some biased business. We all in sermon to silicon that push out lovely neighbors. I'm done with paper chasing, think I'm on to bigger banquets. This that full circle, new wave, energy on a Tuesday. Turn a blue day to a bright hue, yellow with a smooth A in hair. Extra fruit, the brand, you can't move me. The music is man, it's a con job, but it's grand. I'm blessed with a great hand amongst many that stank. And yeah, it took some hard work, but blind luck play a huge role. And if they say that it don't, then they feeding you fool's gold. And if I know one thing, that the truth's home. Even if it's a tough thing to swallow, an even harder thing to hold and truly know without a doubt while on the globe. And even though that seems inherent, it ain't always so apparent. Dangle carrot, you ain't always gonna get it. But don't worry, it's a pretty February in a year with more to carry and more days is yet to come. Under the sun, taking the ferry to the city where the moment's extra pretty, like the people, like the idea that I keep inside my brain that isn't equal to the real world. All that stress ain't saving me fear though. I swear to God I'm trying, but they pushing their demons down my esophagus, screaming the easy life, what I want always. Praise made up holidays, tell me that love is the answer just to boost this economy. Buy more, sell now, but I ain't following. I ain't a hollow man, I'm fuller than fall winds. Take it all with a tall grin, and if you feel it, do it with me. And just sing what the song says. Take it all for what it is. It ain't all so big. So big, so big, so big. Take it all for what it is. What it is, what it is, what it is, what it is. It ain't all so big. It ain't all so big.
Hello, hello, hello. Hey, y'all. It's me, SB. How y'all doing today? I hope everybody's doing well. It is Monday, and yes, we're back. And guess who's back with me? My man, BMU. Come on back, man. What's up? How you doing?
I am doing. Can you hear me?
I hear you very well.
I am doing fantastic. Thank you so much. I'm so glad to be back in the house.
Good to see you. I know. I'm even like, I done missed you for like 3 weeks. I'm like,
man, Mr. Boss, what's going on? My brother from another mother in the background. Yeah, give me some. Give me some.
I'm like, oh, he's out there cheating. You know, I started a room about you, right?
Oh yeah, don't do that. You know what you should have that. You know, I think the clicks would have been better today if people would have thought I was cheating and got caught up cheating. That would have been wonderful.
I told him you was out in Jamaica stripping.
Ooh, Chocolate Thunder is back. I
told him I was like, y'all, he out there stripping. That's all. It's all good though. He coming back.
Chocolate Thunder, give me that.
Look at you. Look, we got so much to catch up on. How do you even title this show? It says SB and BMU 2 weeks review. You been keeping up with anything?
I have not. When I went out of the country, I definitely unplugged for everything.
Oh, that is wonderful.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't blame you for that one. That is cool to hear though. I mean, one day soon I'm gonna be able to do that. I'm kind of unplugged a little bit now. I mean, I guess I'm keeping up with YouTube, but the regular life, I'm like unplugged a little bit because I'm a little displaced. But hey, it's all good. It's all good.
Hey, you know what? Edward Gilbert in the chat, he said BMU in the building. Did you get one of those Jamaican gals to rub you down? Listen to me. I did. She gave me a little regular massage and with one hand and tickled her fingers up by my neck, and I was just nodding off. And she said, "No, you need bamboo." And she went and got that bamboo stick. When I tell you that woman worked me to death with that bamboo stick, I was asleep. My wife had to come in. She said, "Baby, you okay?" She said, "Wake up, wake up." I was out of there. Gone.
Like, man, you were supposed to not admit to that. You're supposed to like, I don't know what you're talking about. There's nobody's hands belongs on my body but my woman. Don't listen. What you do over there in Jamaica got to stay in Jamaica. You can't listen. Mr. Gilbert, if you want to know what go on in Jamaica, I'm assuming you get you a woman, you go on over there, sneak over there, do what you do, and then you come back and let us know how it goes. Because I already put it out there. He is stripping for a living while he over there, but when he come back, he's gonna be that straight up dude, and that's how it goes.
Straight up. I don't know who over there. You know, I don't know who had syphilis over there. I don't know. It was just a lot of stripping going on. There's a lot of stripping.
It's on the uptick, right? Oh my God. It just Black man, it's so much going on. Before we get started, though,
I like that shirt you got on over there.
I was getting ready to say, listen, Coach. I mean, look, they lost, but it don't even matter. Y'all know Colorado in the house. Colorado.
That's a man's man. I'm telling you, that man can lead a war, can't he?
He is
winning and losing, even in controversy. That man just stay the same.
It don't even matter. It don't even matter. And that's how it's got to be. You know, that's what you want. That's what you want. Look, even if he wasn't a millionaire, he's still gonna be a man.
Yep. Exactly.
See that? And he's leading. He said, "All those boys are like my children." I mean, God, Black man, what more can you ask for? That's awesome. It is awesome. But before we jump into this, we got to say hello to a few people because I know they missed you. You know what, Black man, I got to tell you what I did last week really quick. Since we were mobile, me and Mr. Boss got on here Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Yeah, 3 days in a row. We was tripping.
Oh, well, y'all working.
No, it was kind of fun though, because, you know, like we kind of unplugged from like the professional work. So we was like, hey, look, ain't nothing to do. Might as well jump on the camera. So that's what we did. We jumped on the camera Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And we just went on. And it's been like a crazy week. You know, my girls just loving on me. You know the ones. And they just been giving it to me left and right. But you know what? I love them. I love them the most because even though they, you know, don't care for me much or whatever it is, looking for something to talk about me about or whatever, you know, disagree. I know, you know what they say? They say, you know what? I disagree with you. Well, listen. SB is coming straight from what the God says. My foundation is totally rooted in that. And this is 28 years of being married. Is what I'm talking about. This is years of following Christ. This is what I'm talking. I'm talking about good living. If you are living a good life and you are happy with your situation, you might not even need to listen to me. You know what I'm saying? You might need to go the other direction because there's only two paths to follow. Only two. There's good and evil, or God and the devil, however you want to say it. Now, I'm going to be on the other one. So you could be wherever you want to be, ladies. But no, I am not calling your names. I'm just wondering why they take it so personal, Black man. Wait, we'll talk about it.
I don't know. I want to ask you a question, though.
Should we do this? We'll just speak to a couple of people because, you know, we can go down that road.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm going to ask you a question right after that.
We'll go way down the road if we get on that. But let's say hello to a few people. I'm going to go backwards because Mr. Boss is over here doing something else. Let's see. Mr. Gilbert, we already said hello. Take heed. What's going on with you?
A message in the building. What's going on, girl?
Yeah, Clement. It's good to see you, Clement. It's very good to see you. Ooh, we going backwards. Dr. Steele, what's up? How you doing? Uh-oh, that bamboo. Black man, it seems like Dr. is relating to the bamboo.
Yeah, that bamboo, man. I'm telling you.
Renata, hello. How you doing? It's good to see Mel. Hey, Mel, haven't seen you in a while. It's good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. All of you, thank you so much for your support. Black men, they all missed you. I know they did, but I'm glad that you are here, and I'm glad that they're here also. We're going to have a super duper show. Ain't that what? Ain't that a super duper show tonight? Yes. So listen, guys, if you're just tuning in, make sure when you come in, you give us a thumbs up. We would appreciate it so much. Also, those of you that are over on Instagram, thank you so much for following me. I mean, y'all are into it. Y'all are, the engagement over on Instagram is, and I've already passed my 10,000. So it's time for us now to get into it. Start having these lives, you know, combining them together and all of that. And I appreciate you guys for doing that. Also, if this is your first time here, make sure you are subscribing to the channel. Give me a thumbs up, turn those alerts on so you can be here every time that we are here. Also, those of you that are over on TikTok, y'all know Black Man Unfiltered. He's over there too. Making sure you are tuning into both of the channels. Make sure you are subscribing. Turn on those alerts, and we appreciate all. This is your first time. Thank you so much for being here. But don't forget us. We're the dynamic duo. You know, there's been plenty others that tried to duplicate this, but actually just sit and think about it. We are the best. You know, in words of Coach Prime, we are the best.
In
We
other
are
words,
the best.
close friend, and we coming.
And we coming. Look, what he say? We ain't dogs yet, but
Yeah. But we coming.
we coming.
Yeah, I love
So
it.
anyway, what was your question?
My question is this. We proclaim as human beings to believe in a higher power than ourselves. And we believe that God is the higher power who created all things, who created a son whose name is Jesus. And then we go by the word, what was written and inspired by God. Is that correct? That's what
Most
we are.
of us do. Yeah, there are some that do.
My question to you is, if you are a believer in Christ, I think the word should be able to inspire, it should be able to motivate, and it should be able to correct. It should be able to convict you. Now, my question to you is, when we bring up topics and conversation about where the world is and where the world is going, the Bible teaches that we are to go out into the world and teach those who may not know about Christ or the way of Christ or the word of God. My question to you, though, Sakita Boss, is when we believe in Christ and everything don't fit us and we don't want to deal with the accountability of God, we don't want to deal with the circumstances of God, we don't want to deal with what's going on with God, about God, Christ, any of that. When we get pushed into a corner, why do we always change it? Why do we try to manipulate the word of God to make it fit our circumstance so we won't have to deal with the accountability? I think that's what a lot of you, what you're feeling right now, what you hearing about yourself or me hearing about myself, we don't care. But I'm just saying, why do we also have to change the word of God to fit the circumstance to make ourselves seem right? Go ahead.
So I'm gonna be a little off, right? And then I'm gonna bring it back here. So you and I and all of those who are believers, we have to keep in mind that they also pushed against Christ himself, who is God's son, made into flesh to take on all our sins. They pushed against him. So let's think of the bigger picture. Black man, who are you and who am I? We're just planters, in the great words of Dre Dale.
Right.
I hope Dre is here. We are planters. And sometimes, and most times, when we're planting that seed, sometimes that truth will knock you dead upside your head. And if you're not ready to take it or to accept it, then you're going to fight against it. Just like they said to Jesus, who you think you are? I dare you talk about this. You ain't, you barely 50 years old and you talk about Abraham. What are you doing? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, sometimes all the time, God opens some eyes. He open your eyes to see things and you can see it crystal clear, where there's others, they can't see what you see. So, even if they are declaring to be followers of Christ, they just may not be at a particular place at a particular time. And that is exactly what we're here for. Me, myself, I'm an elder woman. I have lived some good life and I've lived some life that I shouldn't have lived. Right. And I accounted for it, repented for it. And it is what it is. And I'm not scared to be accountable for whatever it is I do or don't know, what have you. I'm learning daily, open to doing so, because I do want to be the best person that I can be, wife included, follower of Christ included, all of that. Right. So that's who I am, though. That's who I've settled in and said, this is how I'm going out of here. I'm taking this out just like this. There are others who want to be good on YouTube. They want to be good on YouTube. They want to get cash apps. So they want to, whatever it is, their motivations is to be here on YouTube. But they like the camaraderie. They like the hangouts. They like people to like them, and their motivations would be quite different than what ours would be. So, I just leave it at that. Not everybody knows everything at all times. And, I definitely feel like I represent something that people often don't like.
Right.
But guess what? I've been like that ever since. I'm no lie. I can recall being this way ever since the 8th grade. No lie.
Right. I think that, I think that's why I believe we gel so much together. Because I've always been that way as well. I remember, Security Boss, so we can move on after this, but I remember when I was a kid, they were voting in a pastor at our church. and they wanted everybody to be a part of the vote. And so they said, if you want this to be your pastor, please stand to your feet.
I remember this, black man. You told us the story before. You said, I don't like him.
I don't agree with him. I don't like him because I don't think he's good for youth. I think he's aged. He doesn't know anything about us or anything like that. And I sat down, and I remember an older person pulling my ear up and saying, "You stand up for the man of God." And I said, "No, this is a vote. I can sit down." Right. Well, years later, he's still the pastor there to this day. The membership went from probably 300 people. Now it's probably 10, 8. Nobody's going there. It's a family church now.
Wow.
Basically, it's him, his wife, his 2 children, and a couple of deacons and a mother. I remember a time where they had to put chairs in the aisles because so many people were coming. He drained the church completely, not financially. They got plenty of money. They ain't changed a doorknob in 20 years. But they don't have people. They're not reaching people because you chose the wrong leader. I think that what we're doing right now, I think what you're doing and what I'm doing, because we have both adjusted in our fields of YouTube. When I came in on fire. No woman had it. All of them were nothing. But then I evolved and became who I am now, having more conversation, having more women on the platform, making sure that they're heard and having balanced conversation. I just don't understand how we try to change it. I think that if I'm reading the Bible and the Bible says something about something that I'm doing wrong, I want it to cut both ways. I want it to be able to cut me and convict me to the point where I change who I am. It should piss me off enough to change me. But I'm confident, security boss. I'm very confident. And I think people out there, I think you're a very confident woman as well in your life. And I'll say this, I wake up every morning, security boss, to a beautiful woman. I wake up to a beautiful woman that I'm not shacking with her. I'm not cheating on her. She's not cheating on me. I wake up every morning to my wife, a woman that I sat in front of and told God, her, and the world that she was my everything and she's going to be my everything. I wake up to that woman every morning. I thank God for her. She brings so much balance to my life. I wake up to 6 children, 3 boys, 3 girls every day. They're healthy. They're busy. They're in sports. They're not in gangs. They're not in jail. They're not going to jail. They're not getting arrested. I think I'm doing pretty good as a father, and she's doing pretty good as a mom. And I wake up to a very nice home that I live in every day. I got a great job that pays me well. And I wake up to that every day. And I'm not ashamed to show it. People that know me know that I share my wife and my children all the time on social media because I'm proud of them. I'm proud of who God has blessed me with and how he has sustained me. So I'm confident, security boss. And I don't want my confidence to insult anyone else's insecurities.
Well, I don't know how you're going to, that's what it does, no matter what. You are a follower of Christ. It's going to insult somebody. Somebody is going to come against that because they don't think or believe the same way or feel as though that you're not worthy of because they're judging you as a person or condemning you as a person. We all need to judge each other, I think, because you need to see exactly what this person is doing or is not doing. But condemning people you don't do. But again, like I said, be accountable. Be accountable for it. Elevate yourself. I've told you this several times. Elevate yourself. And it's only going to get worse. The better you get, the more people that you attract genuinely, you know, it's going to get worse because it is.
I'm just going to take another word out of Dion's book. You know, he said, I got the receipts. The receipts are, can't nobody come, security boss, and I'm going to say this and I'm done. Can't nobody come and say, Black Man Unfiltered is on YouTube. He do a lot of talking, but he don't do the walking. I got the receipt, security boss. I mentored so many young men. I've had young men come stay in my house when we couldn't find their mamas. I've had young men come over and live with me, and I fed them. I've spent a lot of money on shoes and clothes and uniform pants because kids didn't have. I don't go out bragging about it, but I'm talking about receipts right now. I have it. I'm in the community. I go out to the community center, play with the boys. These young men in my neighborhood, they all know me by, they call me by my name and we go out and I throw the ball with them, have conversation with them. I've gone and spoke in front of audiences, in front of people. I have the receipts. And when people get on YouTube and they do a lot of talking and you don't have the receipts, you need to be quiet. You have no message if you can't show anything. You can't show anything. You're not professional in the work that you're doing. You're not showing any type of professionalism. Some people have been on YouTube for years, and there's no elevation. It's the same art, ha ha, arguing. Let's talk about each other personally. But I'm at a point I want to attack the situations and circumstances and not the person. However, that's where elevating comes from. So I just want to put that out to Security Boss, because I know you live in the same life. You're doing very well for yourself. You're Mr. Boss. And I think that we when you elevate like that, Security Boss, and some people just don't have access to do what we're doing right now. And I pray for them, and I wish them well. I love them in spite of them. I wish them well. I pray for them every day. I just want them to get to a point where they can get up every morning and turn over to a woman that they don't hate, or to a man that they don't hate or dislike, or they dislike them, and children that are doing very, very well, and a life and a job and all this other stuff. I just wish them well. I just want them to realize what God is doing, and if they can be a part of God too. But you got to shut up. You got to shut up. Be still, and you can get where we are today. That's all I want to say. I just want to put that out there. Some words of encouragement for people today.
Well, you call it receipts. I call it results.
Come on.
And when I say results, it's just results of good living. There's some people who are so, I don't even know what you want to call them, but they call me, this is what's crazy though. Let me share. I can imagine that sometimes people could possibly get very angry with me because I've been called the dumbest person in the room. And if I'm the dumbest person in the room and I have the results that I have, and you are the most articulate person in the room with all the stacks and the stats and the all the equations and all the communication and all the rah-rah, the roasting and all those things there and above, but you still ain't getting it. You still don't have it. Anyway, you know what I mean? I can imagine if I showed you everything, you would probably jump right on off the cliff. So I'm just going to be me, and I'm going to continue to elevate. And I know for a fact, Black man, that we're going to continue to do what we're going to do, and God going to continue to bless this thing. But I can imagine that for some people, me visiting or being invited to the Manosphere was a very hurtful thing, because there's some that have been trying so hard to appeal or appease. There's some that feel like I done been pandering so many years and they looked over me, just different things like that, because that's not what I do. So, I could imagine that might have put people in a very bad place. And also because of the fact is I don't claim none of that. I claim Jesus. I claim God. I claim the Creator. So can you imagine? It's probably just difficult to swallow, but God is everywhere. I believe in God. I'm the one that tells everyone you need to have a relationship with your Creator. And we're going to start the show off with that now. Listen, because I haven't even had an opportunity to talk to you at all about the Manosphere. The last time I talked to you, I was Black man. They invited me, but I hadn't talked to anybody about it. I don't know what's up. Mr. Boss was like, no, he's going to give him the wins tonight. And guess what happened? I was on your show. No, that was Tuesday. What night was I on your show?
Tuesday night? Yeah, Tuesday.
It was that same night that I was on your show was the night that they actually called. So it must have been a Tuesday night after I got out your show. I had a message on another one of my it was a message on one of my clips that said, can you please call me, or something to that nature. So we actually called, and that was when we worked out all the particulars. It was that night, and that was the Friday. That was the Tuesday before the Friday the actual conclave started. But I just wanted you to see a little bit, and of course we can talk about whatever you like to talk about.
Absolutely.
In your family, does anybody know, is there a spirit of addiction in your family, meaning that you take the wrong medicine, you might be hooked? That type of stuff, we overlook it. Or is there any schizophrenia in your family? Stuff like that. Y'all don't think to ask those questions. Who does? But you better, because if you're getting married, you're attaching yourself to someone for life. It is for life. And that's how I saw it. That's how my husband sees it. And everyone going into a venture like that should see it that way. Otherwise, I would say don't do it. And I've never told anybody not to be married. because I believe that's the answer. I believe the nuclear family is the answer. That's the only way we can get community back. That's the only way that women can actually show men the respect that's needed. It's needed. I realize that men have to and need respect. Women need love. Y'all need respect and submission. The only way you can get it is to teach them, so we have to be taught on how to be wives.
So Black man, that was one of the things that came up a little bit. They asked a lot of questions. And that was just a part of it. Mr. Boss has clipped it up a bit and we've been putting it out there here and there, but I can't remember what that exact question is. Oh, I think what it was is they were just asking. So I was the only woman there. I was the only woman invited there. There were some ladies that were hostesses, but I was actually the only woman, and I spoke to them during lunch. And a lot of women have been asking, how you going to say that you only speak to women and you were speaking to a group of men? So this is how that goes. I was addressing some questions. I was answering some questions, and I basically just told my story. I'm sorry?
No, I'm saying, no, you're answering questions from the audience?
Yeah, from the audience, I was answering, and basically, I just told my story, and then I was answering questions. But when I'm saying that I speak to women, what I mean by that is I advise women. I'm a woman. I know how women think. I know of our emotions, so I can easily speak to a woman and to what she may be thinking or feeling. I don't do that to a man. There are many men out there that can be accountable, hold men accountable, and do all that. And I even requested and had you all talk to me and tell me, give me some men's platforms that we can like list to say men can go here. We got Black men, we got Sir Hale. Some of them even mentioned Anton. I think that was about the only three. Got Bolo. You know, we talked about a few that people could go to, men could go to actually be held accountable, what have you. But that is for some other man to do. So I just tell the women, look, when I say I only speak to women, I hold women accountable is what I'm speaking of. I don't hold men accountable for what they do. I'm aware of all the things that go on, believe me, but there are men out there that can correct and hold other men accountable. So that's what I mean by that. Yeah. So I got to meet Sir Hale in person, though. That was neat.
Mm-hmm. I think that there are a lot of people out here doing the work. I think that the people they think they can get over on the most is the one they target the most, but they can't. I think that a lot of people are doing the work, and there's some in this audience right now. Take heed to the message. She's up and coming, ladies and gentlemen. She's coming, and she don't care. She's telling women what you need to do. She need to listen. You don't need to. Some of the things she's saying is the same thing as security boss is saying, but she's doing it in her own way that gives you something different to eat from, right? So you get it from security boss. But take heed to the message. She's telling you, this is what your husband, you can't let your husband be in the house without sex and then expect him to be a proven man going out into the world and he ain't getting none. She's giving it to y'all just like that. And so I think you got her, you got security boss, take heed to the message. You got the Crimson Cure. You got a lot of women now starting to spread out. And I think it's few and far between because a lot of women really going to sit back and take a back seat to the whole accountability thing, but there are some strong voices out here. Security balls, take heed to the message, Crimson Cure, and a lot of other women who are coming up and coming that's going to continue to talk, talk for me and represent themselves for me and to let men know, hey, listen, we got your back. So I'm excited. I'm excited for what's to come.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Isaiah. Pink Book, he's right. Trey, what's going on with you? It's good to see you. He's right. There are a lot of women, but you know what, Black man, I did a clip this past week, and I don't think Mr. Boss has it, but I did a clip this past week, and the title of it, I think, or the gist of it is they try so hard not to understand. So hard. I could make a general statement, just very general. And instead of just accepting my statement, they'll go way extreme and just say crazy stuff. I'm like, why are y'all trying so hard not to understand what I'm saying? There are good men in this world. There are good Black men in this world. If I were to accept that all Black men are trash, then I would have to accept that there's not a remnant of women or that all Black women are trash also. And I refuse to accept that because I have women that come to me and say, SB, I know what you're talking about. I want to be a wife. I want to do this. I want to do that. And they are real. They don't spend there all day beating down a man and a man's qualities and a black man just trying to be a man. If he ain't no man, if he ain't rich and stuff like that. But we're gonna get into it. Let's do these super chats before we get started.
Go ahead.
Hey, Big Ant. Big Ant says, hey, SB, can you believe BMU didn't take us on vacation with him? And after all we've been through, I know. We don't walk through the fire with him. We don't walk through the fire and everything. And then he gonna go all the way to Jamaica.
Man, I'm sorry. It was wonderful though. Woo!
I can't imagine right now. I bet it was. But Ant, thank you so much for your $10 super chat. Mr. Gilbert, what are you saying for BMU and keeping it 100? Welcome back, sir. All right.
Absolutely.
I like this one right here. Texas brown sugar. Hey, Brown Sugar, how you doing?
TBS, what's going on with your TBS?
I love that name, and thank you so much for your $4.99 super chat. And welcome to SB Nation. And also, you gotta check out BMU. Black Big Ant, what you say? Oh, that's
the same one.
It's the same one. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks, Big Ant. We got you. I know it was awful that he had to do that all in the middle of September.
Yeah, my anniversary is on the 21st, guys, and I came back, and my wife's birthday was that Saturday when we got back in, and she said, "Baby, you bundled the anniversary and my birthday together? Those are two separate occasions." I said, "Yeah, baby, I know." So what I did was, she didn't know, but I'm gonna post it so people can see it. But I ended up getting her tickets to go see. I don't even want to say the woman name, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Beyonce, because she wanted to go see Beyonce at home, because they had a few openers there that she wanted to see. So I'm gonna
fall out. I can't believe you did that.
I know, I can't believe I did.
No, I'm just kidding.
But yeah, I mean, she really enjoyed herself, and she really enjoyed the time that I was disconnected from everything, and she was too. So guys, while you're out there right now, if you could just pause for a second and just plan your trip. It don't have to be nothing expensive like I did, because it was lost me so much money, my neck hurt. But it don't have to be anything expensive. It don't have to be anything outrageous. Just disconnect for a while. Go out and take a breather and just breathe some fresh air and spend some time with your loved ones, and then come back and it'll give you new vision. I want to say thank you to Mr. Boss and Security Boss, because I was at a point in my YouTube career here where I was just out of line. And I was just calling women anything and saying anything I wanted to say. And, and Security Boss called me one day, and I love her for it to this day. She said, you need to elevate. You need to stop responding, and you need to stop saying certain things. And I elevated, and I'm here now that I'm at this point. So I appreciate you, Security Boss and Mr. Boss, for giving me balance in this world where I was angry. I was angry because I wanted something to be a certain way in our community, and it wasn't. And I was choosing the wrong way to handle it. So I appreciate you and Mr. Boss for all the inspiring words and motivation that you guys have given me, for sure.
Thank you for that, Black man. It's not easy, because you're a real person. I'm a real person. And just to have, just to get those annoying jabs or people just constantly lying, picking, lying, roasting, or whatever they call it, like children. Right. It is quite annoying. And sometimes you do want to hit back, but really, do you really, when you sit and think about it, that is just your pride and your ego. Once you get past that and realize you got something else you're supposed to be doing, we just need to continue to do that.
Absolutely.
It's okay. It definitely is. I'm here with you. We're going to continue to do what we do and go continue to increase those numbers. You're going to continue to do the word of God. So, you ain't doing nothing wrong. Nope. You got to stay out of that place of doing something wrong. You know what I mean? You can't, you're not going to be able to look at me and be like, well, SB did this. No, I didn't. Yes, I disagree with a man. I can do that. I'm 52 years old. I can disagree with a man. I can do that. I can disagree with a man and not cuss him out.
Oh, come on. That's what I was about to say.
Not beat him over the head, not call him any names. I ain't got to call him no B's. I ain't got to call him no N's. I really don't even have to raise my voice, but I don't have to accept everything somebody says because they are a male.
Right.
I have a husband.
Right. And also, Security Boss, we need to start unplugging from people who don't aspire to have what it is that we've acquired, that God has blessed us with. I'm not taking no credit for the things that I have. I'm not taking no credit for having a loving family and being a father. It is hard being a father, right? I have 6 beautiful children, 3 boys, 3 girls from 20 to 11. And it's hard to deal with those different personalities on a different day. When your hormones up, when your son feel like, oh, they want to go, and these girls out here, these young girls now are so aggressive and want to have sex and sending messages to your son phone about meeting places. You have to deal with so much stuff, and when you're teaching, you have to teach your daughters different than your sons. So it's hard. It's also hard being a husband because you also have to balance time. You have to balance 6 kids, your YouTube channel, your job, your kids' baseball games, basketball games, and then still have date night with the wife, still rub the wife's feet, still take her out, still take her to dinner. So it's a balance being a husband and a father. And I think I work too goddamn hard. I'm sorry. It's coming out. I think I work too hard to be disrespected by anybody as much work as I do in the community, because I got receipts. Anybody want to call me out on, I can provide the receipts. I'm in the community, I'm in the church, I'm in my kids' lives. I got all my kids under one roof. I don't have no baby mama drama. I got my wife here. She don't have no baby daddy drama. We all under one roof in this house together, growing and inspiring each other every day. And every day it's not a fun day. Some days it get a little hectic because there's so many of them. However, we still here, we still rocking. And I think when people get on that level, you can talk. But until then, you can't even talk to me in a negative way if you're not trying to do anything. I ain't trying to hear none of it.
I hear you.
And I'm just saying that to inspire you to secure about. You do too much as well. You in the community, you hiring people. You got a job where you're hiring people that look like you.
So guess what, Black man? We got to do like Prime do. Prime say, well, we ain't gonna take it personal, but the fact that people are trying to make it personal, only thing it does is it encourages you to be better. And when I tell you that when the studio gets ready again, when the studio gets ready and we get back in the studio, we're going to elevate. And I've already said, if you're on the edge now, you might jump. I'm just saying, get away from the edge, enjoy what you see, participate, be a good, but good cheer, whatever you want to say. But if you on the edge now, when that new studio or when that studio is complete and I get back in there, it really might make you angry. I don't know. But guess what? We give him all praise to God, because without him, there's no way it could happen. But again, like I said, you want to be on the right side of right. That's all. So
yep, like my granddad say, son, if they ain't talking about you, you ain't doing nothing.
Trey say that Prime takes everything personal, just about. So guess what? They ain't talking about my mama, so I can't. They just talking about me. It's okay. You can talk about me. They ain't talking about my dead mama. Praise the Lord. But anyway, Black man, it's all good. Like I said, though, you want to remain blameless and just continue to do what you do, and you got to elevate. And you probably like, but SB, where can I go? Up.
Yeah. and start reaching down. I had to learn that. I learned that from Mr. Boss.
But you know what? Yeah. I don't reach down.
I know. And that's what Mr. Boss told me. Mr. Boss said, hey, a Black man, he got that stern voice. Black man. I said, yes, sir. What's you got to stop dealing. You stop reaching down. I said, okay. I could say, okay, all right. Number of respect for Mr. Boss. So reaching down. I refuse to reach down. I will have a conversation and a debate with a woman, but I'm not going to be like I used to. I'll if it gets to that point, I'll disconnect. I'm not going to go that far. But I mean, we're going to elevate. We're going to continue to elevate. God is good. He's still blessing us. He's blessed. He's a blessing in the midst. And so I'm grateful for everything that we're doing and going to continue to do. So I appreciate you. I really do.
Right. Yeah. And it's only going to hit harder, because you know what? I'm going to continue to do what I do. And the more messages I get, or however God wants to use me, I'm going to continue to be used that way. So again, like I said, if you're on edge right now, you need to step away. You need to step back, because it might come a little harder, But either way, it is what it is. So anyway, let's get into this thing. So we got to talk about a lot of stuff, because there's been some people and they're just falling apart since you've been gone. Listen, though, I saw someone in the comment section a little bit ago. Section 8 said he got engaged over the weekend.
What?
Yeah.
He got engaged. Hit the bomb for him.
Look, if I'm wrong, Section 8, please don't throw me away. But I think I saw that he said he got engaged. And listen, thank you so much for that. Please continue to share the stories. Share the love. Continue to tell people about it. It is still happening. And still, you're going to remember this. It's an option. being married is still an option. Marcus, what's going on with you? Mrs. She said, hello, how are you? So
She said, what's going on, sweetheart?
Listen, it is an option, and I'm glad people are still recognizing that being a part of a marriage relationship, there's nothing wrong with it. It could be very good. It is what you make it, but you definitely need to pour all you got into it and get ready for it. You know, prepare yourself. Go to that blueprint, ask those questions, because we've been having some crazy videos, Black man. Crazy.
When I got back, because I had disconnected my phone, I had reached out to y'all while I was in Jamaica about the show that Monday. After that, I disconnected from everything. When I got back, I put my phone on airplane mode, and I was just done with everything. And when I got back, I turned that airplane mode on. And when I got back into the States, and bloop, 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 I said,
no.
my God.
I know.
It's so much. I'm still catching up.
Oh, wow. Hey, Jedi. Tell Tamika I say hello. Jedi Mike, you know what? Me and Mr. Boss was just talking about you guys the other day, and we were just like so, proud of you guys. Y'all are maturing like right here in front of our eyes. I am so glad to see it. I hope in some way I played a part in it. I don't know, but either way, I am so glad this is happening.
No, I was kidding about we're not doing that. Because we're not doing that, because when God uses you as a tool to do something great, you have to talk about the goodness of God in that situation. Let me give you an example. I want to encourage you to do that. I want you to take advantage of what God has done for you and explain what happened. A lot of people talk about you, but they don't know the work you do behind the scenes. Let me give you an example of what that means. You had a show. What was it called?
The Standard?
Yes. All right. One day we were on the show talking how God worked. One day I said, you know what? You should do a show called The Standard. You said, that's a good idea, Black man.
Yep.
Y'all created the show, The Standard. Everybody on that damn show almost is married.
But one person. That's it.
But one person. And you inspired that. So when people out here saying, you don't know what you're talking about, you don't know nothing about marriage, you don't know nothing about this, you have inspired marriages out of your work. And people have gotten married. You got the receipts secured about. You got to talk about how God didn't use you. You can't.
But listen, this is the thing though, and this is no shade to Jedi at all. I feel like just like you gave me that name, and I say it every time. I was like, Black man came up with this name, and it was the bomb. It is no second thought to that. I think that they should actually be the ones to say, hey, SB did this, especially if they find themselves in environments where somebody is speaking negatively or even like the one pot thing. If you know what I'm saying, I ain't got to tell you that, because Black man, everywhere you go, you're like, now SB said, I know you know, but like I'm saying, I don't want to be that person to be like, I did that. But if other people are feeling the same way, I would like for them to tell somebody about the good news that they got over here at SB Nation. Because every man that come over here, Black man, you already know. What's the first thing or second thing I ask them? What's the first thing that I ask them?
The first thing, we're talking about the pot? Because if a single man coming, I don't even know. Say we have a new guy on the platform. What is one of the first things I ask that man before he leaves? Any one of them? Is he married?
Absolutely. I say, is you married? First thing. And then I say, are you getting ready to get married? That's the first thing I ask. I'm always trying to get somebody married. Yep. Always. Why you ain't married? You seem like you a nice man. What's going on with you? I was up there at the Manosphere asking Obsidian the same thing. Why you ain't married? Obsidian, a grown man. I'm like, you ain't married? Why you ain't married? I need to know, So that's where I'm at. I'm asking mostly men. I may say something to the women about that, but normally I ask the men, you ain't married? Why you ain't married? What's going on?
And I won't be back in the driver's seat of my Talk That Talk Tuesday until next week. Lost in Translation did a great job leading the network last week when I was out.
He
did. I was absent.
He think he the bomb. I turn on the TV. He here. I turn on the TV. I'm like, wait a minute. I just see you somewhere else last night.
Yeah, he's a celebrity. He's signing autographs now.
He definitely.
Hopefully you'll see him tomorrow. Talk to him. But tomorrow, I'm going to have the show tomorrow for the network for Talk That Talk Tuesday. It's going to be traditional marriage ruined today's relationships, and because I think a lot of people feel that way, and so they'll have that conversation tomorrow. My son has a huge football game tomorrow. I can't miss that.
Right.
And so I'll be there with my son. This is the first Tuesday game. Thank you, Jesus. No Monday today. And so yeah, I'll be there. But yeah, that conversation is gonna be good. Take heed to the message gonna be up in that thing. So y'all already know y'all can get a mixture of good conversation out of that tomorrow. But yeah, I want to continue these conversations, Security Boss. I think it's important that we continue to motivate marriage and talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly, because all of it happens in marriage.
Right. And again, like I was saying, Jedi and you know what, just to hear them, Jedi, Cam, JB, who else was on the show? Because they're engaged too. Who it was, it was Jedi, it was Cam, and it was I haven't seen Blooming Ebony in a couple of weeks though. I hope she's doing. She was. Yep, she's married too. And Cheeky Banter is the only one that has not.
Only one.
And I haven't seen them in a while, but I think that they are the standard. I've always thought that, and their husbands are the standard. And we need to do a reunion show with them. We absolutely do.
Yeah, absolutely.
We absolutely do need to do a reunion show with them, and coming soon. But I just think that they should be. I'm engaged, SB, 2 weeks ago. Listen, congratulations, Section 8. Listen, I hope we inspired that, and keep your head up. Ask those questions, get in there deep, do all the things that we didn't do. We had to find out the hard way, but we're telling you so you won't have to find out the hard way. What we know, podcast. What's going on with you?
Oh yeah.
Did I get an invite?
He getting married too.
Wait a minute. Why you there? I thought him and the young lady were already married.
They're engaged. They finna get married too.
There you go again. Yeah. Congratulations.
Love is in the air.
Y'all already know this ain't nothing but Lil Lang over here. That's all it is. I'm always trying to get somebody married. You make sure you get a class ring for speaking at the event when Obsidian gets what? I need a class ring. Okay.
You know what else, Security Boss? Like even my boy Jedi Mike, man, even having those when he was in college. Man, I've been knowing Jedi, Lord have mercy. Even when he was in college and all those late night conversations we would have on the phone, not on YouTube, not nothing live, none of his personal business I'm gonna tell anybody ever.
Right.
Man, some of those conversations to see the growth of Jedi.
That's what I said.
He's, oh my God.
And Tamika though. And Tamika. It's crazy.
I'm so proud of him. I don't know what to do, man. Shout out to Jedi Mike, bro.
I mean, guess what? They just no fear. It was like, well, I'm sure they had their own fears, but it was like, nah, we want this. This is where we're gonna evolve. This is it. And they did it. And it didn't take 5 years.
Nope.
Cam and JB, it didn't take 5 years. They got the baby already. They got the baby. You get what I'm saying?
Baby. Wow.
I gotta check in on Blooming Ebony. I hope she tell me she got a little bundle on the way too or something. Help me out. I'm gonna be like, what? Oh my God.
And beautiful wedding pictures. I'm getting it. Listen, no wedding pictures were, oh my goodness. That color and that coordination was wonderful, man. So shout out to y'all, man.
Yeah, I know. And they're young folks. Like, man, they're not old folks.
They're not old.
I think all of them are under 30.
Yep.
I think JB, Jonathan Barronville, is the closest to 30, isn't he? And see, all of them are under 30. Like, man, guess what? Thank you, Jesus. Big Bad Boy, what's going on with you? It's so good to see you. Thank you so much for your $10 super chat.
What's up, Big Bad Boy?
You know what? You know what? It makes hearing that, reminiscing about that, it makes me just feel good. I'm going to continue to do what I'm doing. I'm going to go harder at it. Listen, the next group going to be Section 8, JT, and we need a third one. Who is it going to be? Trey. It's going to be Trey. I don't know. Trey be acting real rebellious, man. Maybe it's going to be Anissa. You think Anissa do it? Trey
be trolling. Yeah, Trey be trolling. I think him and Anissa would be very good together.
No.
You don't think so?
No.
Yeah, okay, I'm sorry.
No. No. I don't think so.
Trey said, huh?
It's gonna be one or the other. I mean, it could be. I mean, both of them. I want both of them. Now, don't get me wrong. I want both of them to get married, but to each other, no. But I want both of them to be married. I definitely do. Yeah, I do. I would love to see that. That would be awesome to add them to the group.
Yeah.
Listen, look, Black Bear. They be like, "Can we take over the show tonight?" I'm like, "Why? What are y'all gonna be talking about?"
Yeah.
Look, they're gonna be married folks. Then they're gonna be seeing things a bit different. Anissa ain't gonna be minding picking up them socks off the floor, putting them in the basket. And Trey ain't gonna mind stopping by the grocery store, getting them flowers. He ain't gonna mind. Just for you, baby. Just for you.
That's for him. walking around the house with baby oil on his chest. Come on,
That's
baby,
all.
I'm ready.
I'm ready. That's
Yeah.
right. Mm-hmm. Coming soon. Coming soon.
Coming soon. So I
Look, they're gonna
hear you.
those.
Yeah.
I know. Listen, Von Bryant, it's good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. And he says, I truly appreciate how you promote marriage on your channel. So many good things come out of the union between a man and a woman. I know. Thank you so much for all of your efforts. God bless. Thank you so much, Mr. Bryant. I appreciate that so very much. Continue, y'all, to support the channel, Black Man and myself. And we're gonna continue to do what we do, despite. Because we already know, Black Man, the message that we do put out there is what is needed to hold this thing together. And everybody ain't going to get it. We already know that. So
right.
You can imagine why we would be the subject to so many terrible videos.
Right. I love it, though. I love it because I think that, when God is using you to do certain things, it ain't always going to be pretty.
Right.
It ain't always going to be pretty.
Oh, I don't know. Jedi, we need to set that up. When are we going to be doing a reunion show? We need to set that up. We really do. But we're going to get into the show. So, because I'm going to catch Black Man up. He been over there, stripping. I mean, over there in Jamaica.
Baby, I came out of retirement.
So we're going to first get started with, the one that's, I think, been the most controversial this past week. Last week, I should say. And that's going to be Tyler Perry. Let's just start with that. Take a look at this video, Black Man.
A lot of women, especially Black women, and I might get in trouble for saying this, but I will. In our society right now, Black women are making a lot more money for the most part than Black men, right? There are a lot of Black men who are successful, but for the most part, Black women are making the money. So if you can find love, if that man works, at whatever job and is a good man, and is good to you and honors the house and honors his wife and does what he can because his gift may not be your gift.
Exactly.
That is okay. That's not somebody who's beneath you.
Yeah.
That's somebody who came to love you at your worth, right?
Yes.
And as long as he's secure in himself to know that, yep, she makes most of the money. All I can pay is the light bill. As long as she's comfortable enough to say, I'm going to cover the mortgage and all the other stuff. You've handled the light bill, baby. You can take me to dinner every now and then. That is fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
But that's so hard for a lot of people to take in because that means, no. I need somebody they need to make 5 times more and I got to have. Well, go on, keep your list, baby.
Yeah.
God bless you. Hope it happens. Go on, keep your list. But when you talk about just someone to love you and support you, I know people whose men can't touch what they make. But when you see them together, that love, that support, that I got you, babe, it's a beautiful thing.
So before we get started on that, Trey, I did not see Coach Greg Adams' video. I hope it was a good one. Let me know. Tell me which video it was. Mr. Ball's been clipping them up, so who knows what is out there nowadays? Who knows? But Black Man, so you see that Tyler is saying a man is a man no matter how much money he makes. This has been such a controversial video, and I have no idea why. Again, I think a lot of times women try so very hard not to understand. So let's just first say this, ladies and gentlemen, you all can choose to be with whomever you want to be with. In the video, in my opinion, we got Black Man here. He's a man. He's going to tell us his side. But in the video, I just simply think that Tyler is saying that don't overlook a good man because your earning potential at this point in time may supersede his. He could be an outstanding guy that makes 60, 70. He didn't say this, but he could just be an outstanding guy that doesn't make as much money as you. Don't overlook him because he doesn't have as much money than you do, because it takes more to be a good husband than money. This is what I heard Tyler saying. I am a married woman. I guess I may get it. I may get it because I do know that money comes and goes. I do know that ebbs and flows. I know things can happen. I understand that anything could happen, that my husband may not be the person that he is today, tomorrow, what have you. And it's going to take more to me loving and liking him than how much money he brings into this house. So I want to know what you think.
A man is a man regardless of what he makes. That is true. I agree. Money don't make a man, because you can't pay a man to jump in front. Well, you can, but you can't pay the money. There's no money in the world that can replace a man who will jump in front of a bullet for you. There's no money in the world that can stop a man from make a man just protect you at all costs. When the creaks in the night and you're in your femininity and it creaks and bangs in the night, you know your man is out front looking for that creaks and bangs so you can be comfortable in your femininity, be comfortable and safe and protected. There's no amount of money that can do that.
Dearly beloved.
Thank you, Mr. Boss. When it comes to women out here who don't agree with that, Anissa says, I do not agree with Tyler Perry. That's fine. That's your opinion, and stand on what you believe. But I do believe what Muddy is saying. I think that money don't make a man. And I think that if I meet you and I love you and I care about you and I accept them nappy head ass kids you had with that guy that wasn't good for you, because you can't meet a woman now that don't have kids. Let's just be real. Hell, 80% of them got babies. So if you meet a woman, I'm stepping into a responsibility to protect, to love, to honor you, to be there for you, to support you in every move you make in life, to help raise that son that does not have a father, and help build that daughter who does not have a father. If I'm stepping into that, if I'm making $45,000 and you're making $112,000, it doesn't matter if I'm making more or if you're making more, because biblically, a lot of Christians want to be under the biblical marriage, but don't want to follow the biblical plan. So if we're in a marriage, we know that God says that we become one in flesh, meaning everything that I have, I give it to you. Everything that you have, you give it to me. We become one. That also includes finances. If you choose to work and you're making $100,000+ a year and I'm making 45, we're making $145,000 a year. It shouldn't, even if it's vice versa. If I'm making 100 and she's making 45, and they ask her, how much do you make a year? $145,000 a year. Because everything that I earn is hers and everything that she earns is mine. We are one. We're not separating. I'm not pointing fingers and saying, I make this kind of money. And she's not going to point fingers and say, this is my money. But what we get it caught up at, Security Boss, which is few and far between, who are women don't have no husband, that have all the talk, all the say. They're not dating. They don't have a husband. They shacking. They throwing the ass back, but can't get a ring and get their life on track. Okay.
You're going down here. You can slide down here.
You don't have no man, and you ready to disagree with Tyler Perry. You want to disagree with Buddy, but you don't have no man.
Black man, you're going down the hill. Come on back. Come on back up.
Let me get back up. I saw.
Okay, so wait a minute. Let's have a conversation honestly, though. Okay, so listen. You're so silly. Let's honestly have a conversation. So listen, what Tyler is saying is this: there's more to provision than just money. I express to women how important it is for them to first align themselves with their creator. I need everybody to have a relationship with Christ. I need the men to also do that. Ladies, when you're a man or when you have intentions on being married, that is one thing that you need to know, that your man has also a relationship with Christ. Listen, and when I'm talking to you ladies, I don't want you all to come to me with these extreme categories of these no good men. I'm not interested. And that's not whom I'm talking about. Right. I've never, ever wanted a woman to be with a man that did not treat her good. And he also needs to be God-fearing. How many times do I need to say this? I want that to be all men. If you're going to be in a marriage relationship, because like I always said to you all, marriage is a biblical concept, in my opinion. It requires covenant and commitment. So when another man like Tyler Perry comes and says, listen, provision, he didn't say it this way, but his provision is just not as much as yours. He's saying to you that this man is a God. He's not saying he's a God-fearing man, but I'm telling you, your quality of man that could fit in that scenario has to be a God-fearing man that is willing to provide, protect, and do whatever it is that God has told him to do for you as your husband. Now, understand this: providing and provision is more than just how much money you make.
Exactly.
It is more than that.
Yeah.
It's the covering. It is the protection, like he mentioned. It is praying for you. It is being there. It is all the things that he adds to you as a woman, logically, intellectually, all of that. And you cannot put a dollar sign on it. You can't. But if you're a woman that wants to be married and you still think that character comes below money, please don't get married. You need to study marriage, study being a wife, increase your relationship with God, figure out who you are in Christ before you take another step to that direction, because you're going to ruin another man if that's what you think it's about. Because anything can happen, that a man loses his job, he may become disabled. Anything could happen after marriage where he may not bring in triple the amount of money than you. And then what are you going to do? Are you going to lead a man? Some of them will. They'll leave him. What are you going to do? And guess what? Going back to what Black Man says, if he's a God-fearing man and you all have studied and vetted each other, then you already know that one pot is a solution to all your problems, which means trust. But here we go. Every time I mention trust, they go find the lowest of the lowest man to bring up as an excuse. Like, I wish the lowest of a lowest man on them. I don't. I want women to have good, God-fearing men who understand what it's like to be a husband, a head of household, a leader. Don't talk to me about no trashy men ever again, because I will ignore you from here on out.
Now, thank you for shooting it. I want to say this. It's amazing, Security Boss, there's some women out here who grew up with their fathers and had excellent fathers, or fathers who did the most. Most of them say this phrase, I want to marry a man who was like my daddy. Well, I'm glad you guys say that, because there's two fathers. There's the father that helped your mama get you here. And then there's the father that you believe in, that you worship, that you pray to every day. And that father, if you want to marry a man like your earthly father, maybe you should consider a man like your heavenly father, because the heavenly father walked around in a robe and slippers all day. He didn't have value in money. He had value in his presence. His presence was his value. When he touched you, you were feeling something that you never felt before. When he spoke to you, he spoke into you, and you felt something that you never felt before. When the woman with the issue of blood touched him, he turned around and said, somebody touched me. And he was able to heal the woman with the issue of blood. I think that women who say, oh, I believe in Christ, I believe in the Lord, he's my savior, he's my everything. But Jesus didn't have that. And I think today, if Jesus was single, if Jesus was a bachelor and was looking for a wife with these modern women today, he couldn't find one. Oh, you healed him from AIDS over there? But how much you make a year? You spoke into my life and changed my life, but you got to make 100,000, Jesus. You ain't got no money? Oh, that robe dingy. I can't be with you.
Yeah,
if
and
Jesus was here today.
And they claim to be believers, but they're forgetting where their source. What is their source? God is your source. And like I said, ladies, I need for you all to study marriage. A lady being feminine, a wife being a helpmate is doing exactly whatever that needs to be done. If she's making more money than her husband for a particular time, all the time, or whatever the situation may be, it all goes into one pot. He's still her husband. He's still the overseer. He's still the head of the house. He's still number one servant. He's making sure everything is being done. And if you can't see how important that is, please stay away from being married. Continue to be by yourself until you can actually be in your role. You have to study your role as a wife. Figure out what God would like for you to do. Figure out if God even cares if you make more money than your husband. Because guess what? When this dollar bill go down to zero, what you gonna do? You know, are you gonna plant the garden? Are you gonna? Black man, I'm not gonna even.
This the thing is that when people, it's one thing that I heard somebody say that I agree with. People need to just start reading. Because Anissa just said, is she in her femininity when she carries the bulk of the household finances? Is provision the husband or wife responsibility? Biblically, it didn't matter who made the money. The husband went out, the wife went out. The wife went out to the fields. They said the wife is like a merchant ship bringing money from afar. She's bringing in that bread too. And back then, they didn't count the money. When he brought in his bag of money, she brought in her bag of money, threw it all in one sack together and said, this is us. So
that wife did that.
Yeah,
that wife did. That wife. That ain't all wives. Now you got to say it right.
Oh, absolutely. And you know one line in the Bible that just rubs across my head that I had to actually see for myself is in Proverbs. It says, "A virtuous woman." The next thing was a question. It says, "Who can find one?" She's rare. She's more rare.
Like a what? Like a ruby. Come on.
She's rare. So basically, every woman, guys, this is why you have to vet. So when you get with these women and you start dating them and courting them, and they start saying, my money, how much you make, get up and leave them. Because everything is one pot. Everything comes together. And right. And if you depend on a man financially and he gets his disabled, like Security Boss just said, and he loses his legs or becomes crippled and he can't sustain that kind of money anymore, you're going to turn your back on him because you were more dependent on his paper and not his presence.
Right. Because nothing supersedes the marriage but God. So exactly. What do you have? Money is the new God. I'm telling you, ladies, exactly. if you can't get the fact that a wife needs to be a helpmate and you can't play that role, leave it alone. If anybody is telling you, if there's a pastor, some church sisters, some other married women are telling you that I'm telling you incorrectly, or the Bible doesn't say that, he better make the bulk of the money, you better run. No, you ain't got to run. Stay with him. Yeah. They're going to stay married though, and you'll stay single. Yeah. That's how to be. But anyway, black man, isn't that something?
Anissa here because I want to help her. She says at lost. She's talking lost in translation. Is there a woman in the Bible that was the provider for the family? Yes. It was Proverbs 31 woman, the virtuous woman. She got up before everybody. She went to sleep while everybody was asleep. Her husband went out to work. She went into the fields and she worked. Right? The Bible says, let's talk about take the money out of it. Then it says she has the heart that her husband can trust. That means her husband can go anywhere and he ain't got to worry about hearing his wife's name, being messy in somebody else's marriage, or being out here cheating on him with her coworker, or being out here cheating on him with the neighbor. He says, the Bible says in Proverbs 31:11, it says the heart of her husband safely trusts her.
Say it again. What's that word? What's that word she do? Safely. Trust. What can you do with trust? When you have trust, you could put your money in one pot and not have to worry about where it's going.
Hey, come on, we putting this together.
But no, I got to control my funds. But guess what, black? You know what though? Guess what, black man? It's gotten so bad that there's always the man that's gonna come up trashy and lost, and we always go to the lowest common denominator when it comes to the man. But I'm just sitting here thinking and talking to you, and I'm wondering, well, what if she loses her job and she no longer has the ability to take care of the situation? She's no longer. Wait a minute. Yeah. She's no longer making her earning potential now is no longer double what his is. So how does that situation really look? Even though it started that way, now the roles have been reversed. What is now the expectation of the man or of the woman, or should there be one? Should he flip out and be like, hey, you ain't the woman I married? Or should he be like, you know what? I've loved you from beginnings. Nothing's changed. How should we do this?
Because you know what? How many people, Security Boss? Let's talk about this for just a small minute. A small second here. In front of that person and said, I'm going to love you in spite of you being rich. If you're rich, I'm going to love you. If you're broke, I'm going to love you. If you got the flu, I'm going to love you. If you're well, I'm going to love you. It's for richer, for poor, for sickness,
absolutely.
And health.
Absolutely.
And nothing breaks that but death. And so
Right.
when women are saying, oh, you know what the Bible say about a woman earning, it just said in the vows, when you sit there and look that person in the face, I'm gonna be with you when you employed, I'm gonna be with you when you unemployed. Security boss, you said something, and it just sticks with me, and I use it in my everyday life when we get to talking about relationships. You said you don't give a damn if Mr. Boss was outside in a cardboard box in a thunderstorm when it raining on the box. You're gonna be right there beside your man, sleeping with him under that cardboard box. I can appreciate that is willing to go with her husband no matter the circumstance or situation. But for a second, I want to say this parenthetically for the people in the audience, and this is to help somebody, right? And this will be real quick. Proverbs 10 says, who can find a virtuous woman, for her price is far above rubies. The heart of her husband safely trusts her. She will do him good and not evil all the days of his life and her life. She seeketh wool, flax, and she worketh willingly, look at the word, willingly with her hands. She's like a merchant ship. That means she's going out finding work and making money. She's just finding work to do. And she bringeth it home to her husband. Y'all got to read.
She a hustler.
She's a
hustler,
baby.
That's what I'm talking about. But guess what else she is? She loves her husband. She like and love her husband. Man. He ain't no piece of man. And guess what? We ain't talking about no piece of man. So why do we always have to go to these extremes? You know what? Let me tell you this, black man. This is what I want to tell you. One of my, I don't know who he was, but one of my supporters, I'm going to shout you. I don't even know your name right now. But guess what he said? He commented. He said, y'all know, I did, when I was up at the conclave, I made a comment about how a lot of women express all these negative things, traumas and things that they've gone through with men. And most of them have never experienced it. It's always somebody else's experience, right? So he commented, he said, SB, you know what? This reminds me of Erykah Badu. And you know, me and Mr. Bob was like, what? Erykah Badu? He was like, yeah. The song Tyrone, she said she was sitting around and she heard her aunts bashing men. And that's how she came up with the song Tyrone. It was never her own experience. She's never experienced that. It was her aunties sitting around talking trash about men. And she made it a song. I said, you got to be kidding. I went and looked it up. And guess what? It's the truth.
Security boss, I saw an interview with Felicia Rashad a few days ago. I don't know if you've seen it.
No.
Felicia Rashad did an interview and they asked her, the lady said, I'm young. And when I was growing up, you was my TV mom. I inspired to be you. How is your character and the real Felicia Rashad? How are they the same, or are you two, or was it hard for you to play that woman who was a wife and a mother? She said, my sister called me one day and told me it's a shame that I'm getting paid for playing myself. She said, I am that woman who love the children, love and celebrate my husband, and is celebrated by the husband. She said it goes, and so she started to talk about the influences of marriage and how marriage is so important in the Black community, keeping it together. And it just amazes me how people change scripture, how people change the foundation of what marriage is and what a woman is. Right now, we're at a point right now here, we're talking about a virtuous woman. And when I say a virtuous woman, it's dudes standing up now. So it's like, it's getting to a point where it's getting outrageous, security boss, where we can't even have the conversation anymore because people are changing the word of God. They don't want to hear it. It's holding too much accountability. That don't work for my marriage. That's your marriage. That don't work for my marriage. No, that's not how that goes.
So black man, I got one lady in here, Lady D. Lady D says that's a lie. You want details, names, dates, and incidents? Absolutely. Lady D, you have a very strong negative opinion of Black men. I'm not going to say all, but you do. You never make the distinction whether it's all or some. You just say Black men, and it's always negative. So I would love for you to share your story with us, because we need to understand. I need to understand. I'm sure Black man wouldn't mind understanding where your point of view actually comes from. If not, then I'm gonna need you to stop, because I'm telling you that for whatever reason, you haven't changed who you are and elevated yourself, because you're still attracting that same low down, no good man that has caused you all this trauma. And it's very much time to get over it. Now, I'm insisting that you go lay on somebody's couch and tell them about it. This is me insisting, because I don't want to see a Black woman hurt every single day, just the mention of something good that a Black man can do. Does that make any sense? I say black man. Then guess what? This is the part that's really crazy. I think Lady D got kids, boys, 3 black boy children. I could be wrong, but I think she has men children. What is this? You know, everybody else's child is trash, but yours. Come on. Hey, Sherelle, what's going on?
And you know what, security boss? I want to say this, right? Because I don't want to talk down on anybody's trauma. But what somebody in the chat said something very good. Trey said, I said that before. A lot of black women. Let me go back down what Trey said. A lot of black women got their trauma about men from someone else, not from experience. Yes, there is a such thing that's called borrowed trauma, where you borrowed the pain from your mother, and now you're living through your mama on some trauma that you ain't never experienced before in your life. Why you don't want to date a man? Well, that nigga did that to my mama, but you ain't never dated nobody because of what the dude did to your mama. So there's a lot of borrowed trauma out here, and there are a lot of women who have experienced trauma. And to those women, I pray for you. I hope God gets you through the journey. Go sit on someone's couch. Let therapy and God restore you. But until then, I think people who have sustained a traumatic amount of trauma should remain silent until they're healed. Because when you're healed, you're gonna look back and see that you caused a lot of things, and you've inspired a lot of people to live a life out of your pain instead of people living a life that they should. So I'm gonna land my plane there.
Be quiet. I heard you.
Yeah,
be quiet. We don't say shut up around here, but be quiet. Yeah. But black man, I was wanting to mention this. You know, in that video that we just saw, Tyler, he gave an example of she paying the mortgage, the woman who makes the most money. And there was also, he said that the husband paid the light bill. Now, for me, when I heard it, because I don't try not to understand, I try to understand. I figured that he was just using the light bill as an example of a bill that the man took care of. It didn't have to be the light bill. It could be so many different things. And actually, he didn't actually give us a whole scenario of how the household was going to be ran. He just said a few things. But women who are trying hard not to understand want to hang the hat on the fact that the man is only paying the light bill and taking her on a few dates, like Tyler said. So what are your thoughts about that?
Security boss, I want to say something real quick. Just a moment.
Yes, sir.
Anissa says, if she loses her job, can he step up and pay the mortgage and all the bills? These are real questions. Let me answer. A man will run through a wall for a woman who he can safely trust, who he knows that would do the same exact thing for him without complaining. And a lot of times we talk about, can the man step up? But my thing is this. If you're married, you say if the man will step up. So I appreciate that you're acknowledging that it's a relationship, it's a marriage. But my thing is this. If you're a single woman with no man and you lose your job, what you gonna do? Go ahead, security boss.
She can't hear you because she ain't camming up. But let me say this part. Like I said, he didn't paint a complete scenario, because what I would love to see an independent woman that makes a lot of money, because that's who Tyler was talking to, an independent woman that makes money, a lot of money, and her income supersedes her husband. What I would like for her to do is pay off the darn mortgage, you know? Why she got to have one? We ain't talking about nothing. You know, maybe he's bringing to her the ability to know how to build wealth. Maybe he wants to actually be an entrepreneur. We really don't know. Only thing Tyler said is that he's paying the light bill, and we hanging on to that because we are so ego driven, ladies, that is it going to hurt your ego to take care of a good man if that's what you actually think that you're doing? Is that what it is? But he can. It's crazy to me, but guess what? What I'm learning being on this side as a married woman is they don't know how to win. They really don't know how to win. And
good enough.
It's like, like the question that black man just asked. He said, if you paying the mortgage and you lose your own job, what you gonna do? You by yourself. Now, you ain't got to worry about that man that loves you, that cares for you. Like Tyler said, when I see the two of them together, that loving, caring, kindness that I see amongst the two of them, it's just priceless, is what he said. So forget that. You didn't accomplish that. You by yourself. You got your mortgage. You lost your job. You don't have that now. So what you got? What you got, black man?
And you know what? Security boss, when you lose that job and you working by yourself and you lose that job, now your mind, now you're gonna go to, man, I need to find that man that's like my daddy. But then eventually when you know that you can't find that man, now you're looking for another type of daddy. His name is sugar.
No, they
Because
not
now
black
you,
man.
oh yes, sugar daddy.
I'm not
Because
putting
now
that on them.
you looking for a man to pay your
No.
bill now. Can you help me with my rent? Can you help me with my mortgage? But you're gonna go to some man, whether it's a loan officer, whether it's a police officer, whether it's an officer of the church, you're gonna go somewhere to get that money.
Oh, it might. You know what though? You know how they say it. It might be Zaddy himself.
Yeah.
Maybe that one. Could it be? I hope not. Ladies, I was just kidding about that. I ain't wish no bad things on you, but I really wish y'all understand and get this thing. Think long term. Stop thinking in the moment. Things can be good, but they can change quickly. You got to be able to have that foresight that things may not be this way all the time. And you have to always connect to your source, which is God, your creator, Jesus Christ.
Right,
so
right.
Build that relationship and all that little stuff that y'all be worried and so concerned about, your money, all that other stuff. You will know that you are okay. Now, some of y'all ain't going to get that. Not today. I understand. And it's okay. It's okay. So black man, have we touched on that enough?
Yeah. I just want to say to the women, don't go looking for a sugar daddy because those men have diabetes.
Black man, you're so silly. No, listen. It's just I'm just so glad that me, not as a 25-year-old woman, not even knowing what I was doing, I did it anyway. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, Jesus.
You hopped out on faith.
Dearly
Because
beloved.
everybody talk about they got fear. I heard Lost in Translation say, I hope somebody get delivered from fear. But the Bible said faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. So God is providing something for you that you can't see. But when you get in it, God gonna take over that thing because you trust in him. Don't get me to preaching today.
I am so glad, black man. I'm so glad I got this vision. I can see Jesus walking around in the dark. Lord, it must be tough.
God gave you so much faith. Sometimes people have faith, they believe in their faith without even recognizing it. When you got in your car this morning and when you crank that car up, it crank up. You had faith that thing was gonna start this morning. You had faith when you sat down at your desk this morning to do your job. You had faith that chair was gonna hold you up. So if you got faith that car gonna start, that chair gonna hold you up, you gotta have faith that God gonna give you a man that's gonna lead you in the right direction. I rest my case.
Listen. She talking about this. I just gotta read this because you are just too much. She said, "Put the link up. My house is paid in full, so I'll be good." That's what I'm talking about. Build wealth. If you're making that much money as an independent woman, you should be building wealth. That's exactly what you should be doing. So the next man, the man that comes and loves and cares about you, you ain't even worried about money because you good. You good.
And that money becomes his money.
But he gotta be a God-fearing man, though. Black man, we ain't playing no games. We ain't playing no games.
When that God-fearing man comes, but see, the thing is, security about she making so much money, she done pay the house off, probably pay the car off. And when she meet that man, God will send you what you ask for. That's what my grandmama said.
That's what I'm hoping for. That's what we're hoping for.
You ask God for something, you got to start preparing yourself for him to answer your prayer. When Anissa's asking for that God-fearing man that's going to love and protect and provide and provision and pray for her and be there for her and carry her, support her, and he'll send that man that way. And that man will sit down and say, I'm a godly man, and this is how this gonna work.
And guess what? Guess how it's gonna look. This is how it's gonna look.
Yeah, go ahead.
Excuse me. She ain't gonna have to compromise on anything because she's aligned with what her creator has said a wife looks like. And that man that he sends, he's gonna be just for her. She ain't got to worry about him just paying the light bill. He gonna have a house paid for too. He gonna have everything he need, and it's gonna be fine. But see, her concentrations are seemingly in the wrong place as of right now. But I'm asking to step back, Anissa. I'm asking you to step back, relax, and just figure out what the creator has for you, and he will. Guess what? He'll put you in the place of that man, and that man can't help but to see you, and it'll be the right man. It'll be the right man for you.
Look you in your eyes and this and say, listen, I want you to be my wife, my love, my everything, my rose in a concrete world. You are everything to me. God has blessed you with me. And this is how it's going to work, as me leading you and God leading you on this journey. What's mine is yours, and what's yours is mine. My house and my property belongs to you in marriage. Your house, your property, and your belongings and money belongs to me. Everything's going to go in one pot. And as soon as he says that, will you be able to will you ever be able to connect with the man God has given you? Or will you be so independent and secure in your money that you'll let him go?
Hey, look, that's that when that day comes, I don't know if I would love to see that day that she meets the man, or the man that needs to be with her is actually there for her. And
Come
she'll
on.
see, because guess what, Black man, I have realized this, and I learned this through JB and Jedi Mike. They married people see things totally different. A single person cannot see what a married person sees. I am just
Exactly.
going. I didn't know it. You know, I hear us tell them all the time. We talk about it all the time, and I'm just thinking, okay, yeah, they can get a visual, but they really can't. So those two young men have actually taught me to the point where I'm like, you know what? They can't see what we see. So I'm
Right.
not going to even push them that direction. I'm going to keep doing what I do. But the only argument that I have for them, or pushback I have for them, and not for those two men, I'm talking about women for the most part, is that they always talk about the trashiest men in the world.
Mhm.
And I don't talk to trashy people. I have nothing for them unless they want to come over here and become non-trashy. I am
Right.
not going to the trash sector and get them. They can stay over in the trash sector, roast, play games, make up lies, do all they do, stay single, talk about all different types of stuff. I'm not going over there to get them. You get what I'm saying?
Exactly. So let me make it clear for some people that didn't understand you. Let me give it to them in the hood way. Don't go to the grocery store buying the meat that will expire tomorrow. Buy something you can put in the freezer that you can eat next month. See, this is that's what's happening. Security about this was happening. When they going looking for the expired meat. Oh, this meat bad. I don't even want it no more. No, because you're shopping in a store that's selling expired meat. Go
Expiration.
come
Expiration
on.
today. So
Come
listen,
on.
we're gonna move on because we got some other videos to cover, and it
Okay,
don't get no
yeah, let's
better.
do it.
So listen, let's do this
That's
though.
right.
Big Bad Bull says, Black Men Unfiltered. I'm looking forward to you. Oh, maybe I should let you read this one. Go ahead, Black Man.
All right, Big Bad Bull, thank you for the $10 super chat. He said, BMU, I'm looking forward to your new outlook, hoping to see you start to hold many of these out-of-pocket men accountable, which I've already been doing that. The manosphere has generated a massive flux of weirdos. Thank you so much for that $10 super chat, Big Bad Bull. We appreciate you, brother.
Big Bad Bull's at the manosphere. You know what? I don't know, but hey, there's some things out there that need to be corrected. I'm with you, Big Bad Bull. Thank you so much for their super chat.
And
So,
listen, if you want to hear God laugh, tell him your plans. Go ahead, Security Box. I'm sorry.
Anyway, Black Man, get ready for this one. This is another video. This is kind of play on the same thing. It's just that they find it so hard. They try so hard not to understand what is being said. I have no idea where this comes from, but maybe you can help me out a little bit.
Okay.
Here it goes.
Only group that's being asked to build men up financially. Like, I just really want men to drop down in the comments and help me understand this, because I don't hear my white brothers, I don't hear my Asian brothers, the Latin brothers, I don't hear my Indian or Arab kings out here asking their woman to build them up financially. I don't hear that. In fact, in a lot of cultures around the world, you can't even marry as a man if you don't have your bread together. So why are black women being told we need to help upbuild? Why are we being told we need to ride or die? Why do we have to settle for struggle love? I don't understand it. I also know women who have been with men who didn't have anything, built them up, and as soon as they got on, guess what they did? Leave. So this life that you were promised after he got all built up, you no longer have. And you know what makes me sad about it is black women are called masculine and, oh, you focus too much on your careers and blah, blah, blah. Well, how would we focus on anything else if, one, we have to help black men with the money, and number two, if we know that y'all will peace out once you get the money, the only thing we have to stand on is the money. You see, it's wild. It's infuriating. Black women should not have to shoulder being a man, right? There's only masculine energy coming from black women because we have to do your job. We don't want to do your job. We want to do our job and chill and be women and be happy. Not all this riding and the dying. We don't want to die. We don't. We want to live good lives. So please let us do that.
We're riding in the dying. We want to live.
You already responded to this video and you had a great response to this helpful. Let me say something.
Black Man, that's why I brought it to you. Listen, you just don't know. It'd be so much bringing. I said, Black Man ain't here, but I got you.
Let me take a stab at this. This lady lost all credibility when she started downing men, and she didn't give evidence or receipts that she was married and it was successful. Security Boss, when you get on here and you talk about marriage, you can pull that ring up, and your husband is behind the camera supporting you. This woman had her iPhone in the kitchen talking about women riding or dying, and she's not experiencing it. She's not a part of it. She is not going to be a part of it because the way she's talking, no man's going to marry her. She's over 35, so she's in her 40s. She's probably early 50s. So she hit the wall a long time ago. She's trying to recover from that, and she never will. And I think that when she talks about women building men up, I don't think she's a believer. And I'm not going to waste any time on someone who does not have any moral value, that doesn't come from anywhere. Even if she's not a believer, tell us where you get your information from. Give us some receipts. Talk to us. Right? Don't help a man in a building process. She said, what about my Asian brothers and sisters? What about my bright? Okay, so if I wanted to be a little turd, I can come back and say, well, what about our white sisters? We don't have to argue with them every day. When we say something, a black man says something to a white woman he's in a marriage with, she just says, okay, baby. What about the Asian woman? When you tell her to do something, she does. She's obedient to her man. She's very submissive to her man. What about the Vietnamese women? Oh my God. What about the women in Portugal? What about all these other women that say, yes, whatever you want. Yes. Okay, I got you, baby. What about those? We can go back and forth with that, but only makes sense when you have receipts. I can't sit up here and tell Trey, hey, Trey, you know what, man? This is how you operate as a single man. I'm not a single man. But if I have a great man in my life who's in my circle, who's my brother, my partner, my uncle, my cousin, who is living a life of being a single man preparing for marriage, let me hook Trey and him up where they can have a conversation. This lady has no credibility talking about relationships and building when she ain't even laid the foundation for her own. She is not married, and you could tell how masculine she is in her voice, that she will never be married. In 10 years, this woman will still look like that. She will still look like that. She will still talk like that, and nobody will marry her. It's over. It's over. I'm not even going to entertain this. What do the Hispanic people call this? Bruja. I'm not even going to entertain this bruja.
But the part that I, again, have problems with is the fact that it's not, when we say build with, I say build with a man. It's not building the man. What's wrong?
Come on, Trey. He said being submissive and cooperative is a part of the building. Trey, you preaching tonight. Listen, I want you to stay in this preacher role, okay? Don't you go back.
Trey, Trey and Black Man, they find it's so hard sometimes. They don't want to understand. They deal with the worst type of men. I don't even know what these men that they deal with, but everything that comes out about a man, I'm assuming a black man, is negative because she didn't know that Asians build. She did. Has she ever? This is very anecdotal, but have y'all not? All of y'all done been in a nail salon. Who in the nail salons mostly? Who in the hair beauty? No, but who? What kind of woman? An Asian woman with her husband, the cousins, the nephew, man, woman, all of them in there, and the kids running around. That's the Asian. Go in the beauty supply store. Who in there? Same thing. You know what I'm saying? I can just to say that you don't build with a man. You do. They do build with each other.
Don't forget about the restaurants.
But wait a minute.
Chinese restaurants.
Let me say this. I don't recommend a woman building a man at all. I don't even know why a woman would want a man that she builds. Hear what I am saying. Hear me. If you got to build a man, no. Y'all hear what I'm saying? Don't take this nowhere but what I'm saying. Building with a man and building a man is very different. If you're willing to build a man, you just want to control that man. And we call them Leroys and your big mama. We don't want that. We want to build with a God-fearing man that can cover us, that can protect us, that can be the head of our household, that can love and honor us, and we can submit and respect him.
Oh my God, you just dropped a bomb, but I want to tell you something. The Bible says a wise woman buildeth her house with her hands, but a foolish woman will tear it down. The Bible has something for everything. I'm so sick of
confirms itself daily. The Bible confirms itself daily. I say this all we just need to breathe, Black Man. Let's just breathe. Woo. But hey, listen, we ain't gonna say nothing else about that because homegirl had her time. The only thing my takeaway is lady, you don't need to be building a man. If you got to build a man, he's a wrong one. and you shouldn't want to control a man. It's just like what she said. You build him, he get to a certain place, he out the door because he don't like the way you treat him anyway, because he was just there for the build. You get the build with a man. Understand? Don't get it mixed up, y'all.
And
don't get it mixed up.
And before we go to the next video, some of the women out here are dating the men that they don't like is the sons that they raising. Let's go, Security Boss.
Ooh. Okay, next. Now you've heard there's been a lot of separations and some divorces, filing for divorce in the last month here. Month of September has been a little hot in that area. The first one, though, we're going to talk about is, I need you to take a look at this picture. We're going to do the video first. Okay, we're going to go to the video. It is Jeannie Mai and Jeezy. Let's take a look at this.
Not a lot of people know this, but it's just something in my family. I've seen it in my grandmother. Saw it in my grandfather, to my grandmother, to my mom, to my aunts, to me, right? But I didn't notice it in myself until I was with Jeezy.
Interesting. You didn't notice in your previous marriage?
No, because it has to do with the type of relationship you have and the type of respect you have for that person to mirror things back to you, where you actually would stop you in your tracks and evaluate yourself, you know?
So you had it.
So I had it, but nobody ever called me out on it. Also, in my line of work, sometimes being a boss isn't so great for you, because you have a lot of people who just agree to what you want. They're yes men, right? And so I didn't notice that I had a hot temper until I got with Jeezy. And here's a person who is my equal and I really respect. And when I would spew some of my old habits, and he was like, like, who? That's not flying here. And also, it would trigger him to come back at me with things where I was like, who the fuck do you think you are? But I was triggering him. So through work, we learned that we both have certain habits that to the everyday person, from friends, family, fans, they'll never see it. But to the person who loves us deep enough, you can press that button and boom, the dragon comes out. And we both have it. So we had to work on that. But he never told me to fix my temper. I just saw it and I thought, unless I want to stay in this place where I lose this person I love and I stay in my comfort zone of doing what I want to do and function the way I have for the last 40 years when nobody else had to stop me.
Which obviously has done quite well for you.
Right, I could have. But this was something greater that I wanted, and also a great challenge to myself to say, what if, now that I know it exists and the dragon's there, what if I got rid of that? How do I kill that dragon or store it in its place so that it never creates havoc in my life? And that took work. So for me, I think I don't want somebody who doesn't change. I want you to change and grow, if it means growing into an even better version of what I fell in love with.
There's this theory, it's called the self-expansion theory.
So, Black man, what you think about the dragon?
I think the dragon... Okay, I'm going to do this the right way. In Genesis, it was a serpent. In Revelation, it was a dragon. From Genesis to Revelation, somebody fed that serpent because the serpent got fat enough to become a dragon. And I think that this dragon that she talked about started with her first husband. If you go back and watch when they first got a divorce, she was treating that man the same way. Her husband, I want children. I ain't giving you no damn child. Right? She used to embarrass this man, emasculate him on the show. And all of a sudden they got divorced. And now she threw Jeezy in his face. She tried the same thing with Jeezy. Jeezy said no. See, Jeezy is confident enough man to say, get out. Bye. Over. I'm done. I'm not going to deal with you on that level where you did it with your husband. Your last husband. I'm not him. I'm not going to be him. So goodbye. And he filed for divorce and let the streets tell it. She was shocked. She didn't even know. He just went and did it. Here, get these papers. And I think that all men should be that way. I think that and this woman has your child. And so I think he should get custody as well. I think that he will be the better parent for the child because, like she said, she's a dragon. And a dragon that she hadn't slayed that dragon. And until she gets some help, and there's nothing. There's no man that's going to be able to. She's a pretty girl. She is. But she took on the characteristics. Here we go with that borrowed trauma. She took on the characteristics of a mother who had trauma, a mother whose mouth has her with no husband.
Well, let me ask you a question. I don't believe that exactly because I happen to think that Mama Mai is just as feisty and
She
sassy
is.
as all get out. She got
You
that
ever
straight
seen
from
her?
her mama.
You ever seen her?
Absolutely.
Oh, she's horrible.
Absolutely.
Well, she's
Mama
horrible.
Mai,
It's horrible.
she got that straight from Mama Mai.
Bar
And
trouble.
she explained it. She said no one has checked it could be due to the relationship. So in other words, she said her mama ran her daddy. Her mama ran her other husband. She ran her husband, and she was gonna run Jeezy because nobody checked it. But then when she got with Jeezy, he checked it and was like, "Hey, where is this coming from?" And she had to back up. Now I'm out to lunch on Jeezy because this is not a reason to divorce. Because I know that Dragon showed up before they got married, and if she's been dealing with that Dragon 40 years, it's gonna take at least 5 to 10 to get rid of it.
Pace yourself. Yeah.
And he ran out on her.
Yeah.
Because this girl stood up there and accounted for that dragon. Did you hear what I just said? She accounted for that dragon, and she said it. She said, "I want to get rid of this dragon. I don't want this because this is something I really, really want."
Right.
Now, why couldn't he work through that with her? And some gonna say, why should he? Because he married her. That's the only reason. It's because he married her, because that dragon showed up prior to marriage. But guess what, though? Just as much as she had that dragon in her, she loved him just as hard, if not harder. So now I hope she continues to do the work for the dragon. She has a child, beautiful little girl. But this particular situation, I don't believe in. The divorce, I can't get with this one. I don't, because I just don't think that's a reason. Like you just said before, death do us part. This is not to me, this is not a deal breaker. But people, whatever you call them, celebrities or whatever, they do different things. But this to me is not a deal breaker. But I do think what we're doing is breaking some hearts, because now they have a little girl that got to live in 2 separate places under 2 separate cultures. You know what I mean? One house we live in like this, another house we live in like this. I don't think Jeezy wanted to just put his foot down and didn't feel like it was necessary. I guess it's like what Dr. Steele said. He had standards, but maybe he didn't voice his standards early enough. Or maybe he didn't lay out what he needed to do, what needed to happen early enough, because I also heard she moved a brother in, she moved Mama Mai in, all these people moved in, and he just sitting back there. Come on now. Why? I also heard they live in separate houses. It's just 2 cultures and it needed to be worked out, but they was having too much sex probably prior and not having enough conversation. But then, now we're married, you're going to flip it on me once.
Because I heard her having a conversation about eating his ass.
What? Wait a minute, slow down. Say what?
Yeah, she was on the show, and she was describing how she likes to eat his ass.
No, black man, that's not what she was describing. Please tell me it wasn't. I heard her say that, but I thought it was... I ain't want to talk about it. Don't worry about it. I ain't trying to get no visual. Too many girls, Lord. Oh, okay. I'm just gonna have to accept what you're saying to be true. We're gonna have to move on, because I heard another girl today. She just act like she just need all kind of accolades and awards, talking about how she peg a man and she'll bend him over. Y'all, you know what? You nice ladies. I don't know where y'all going with this, but you know what? Let me find out that somebody in my area been pegging and tossing salads. I can't even help what my face do. I can't even help it. But man, you might not even be able to have a straight conversation, because I'm be looking at you like, what in the hell did you do? I'm about to walk away. I'm be like, baby girl, I can't talk to you right now. I can't talk to you ever. I can't even take you serious, because you too much. Just TOO, too much. I'm sorry. Wow. Bending them over. She talked about how she bent them over, pegging them, tossing salads, and she was just like, sexually liberated. Woo! I'm like, you trick is what you are. You are a trick. I hope he left the money on the dang on counter.
Oh Lord have mercy. This is crazy.
Do you believe this, black man? What is wrong? You know, when I hear things like this, it just makes me just go crazy. I'm just too old for this. I'm too old. I'm too old, black man. I'm not kidding with you either. I wouldn't I wouldn't make nothing up.
The
Had me
Petty
looking like,
sisters.
huh? You did what? And let me tell you something. And Jeezy said this about her too, that not everything is appropriate. Women, that's not modesty, but these are not married women. Jenny was, but this woman I'm talking about now, she's not a married woman. So I don't expect her to, be modest and discreet in any way, I suppose. I guess the weirder or the more extravagant or the more provocative I can be, I guess is more enticing to men. I mean, I don't know. Do men feel like y'all need to go run up behind that? Y'all feel like y'all need to go run up behind her and get pegged and get your salads tossed? The fact that I said that, does that make you want to stand in line and be next?
Yeah, that shit crazy. Yeah.
Well, anyway, I guess that's what we're into now. Hey, Tommy, what's going on? It's good to see you. I hadn't seen you in a while. I hope everything is well and those babies are also. But anyway, that's what I heard, black man. But anyway, we're moving on. But like I said, I am not good with GZ and divorcing my girl. She's not my girl. But anyway, she was trying to do the work. She was accountable for the work. She was, born in a different culture. Her mama was Mama Mai. Mama Mai was off the hook. Everybody should see it and know it. And I can't even imagine Mama Mai drunk. But can you? Anyway, and I can't imagine Jenny Mai drunk either. But either way, we moving on. Next now. What is next, actually? Next, we're going to talk about, Remy Ma and Papoose, not them. Who's next? Black man, you got me going through all this. Let's just talk about it though for a minute. You know that Remy Ma and Papoose are going through something right now because there is allegations out there that she is cheating with her little protege, Easy.
Yes.
They had the little rap battle, and what's his name, Gucci Gotti or whatever, Geechee Gotti, just had a lot to say. Let's just say he had a lot to say. I don't know if you saw it. You saw the battle.
I saw it, and you saw her face.
Yeah, she wasn't giving nothing.
Guilty.
No.
Guilty.
No.
Guilty.
And no, she wasn't triggered at all.
You see Papoose face?
No. Wait, tell me where was he at?
Papoose and the guy were battling each other. The guy brought up everything and walked it down in a freestyle.
No, Papoose, I ain't see. Wait a minute, when was Papoose?
Yeah, you didn't see it.
No, I saw the one where Mr. Gotti was battling Easy, not Papoose. He was battling Easy.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Seen.
Yeah. Papoose was battling the guy.
I ain't seen that one at all.
Yes, you got to see it. I'll send it to you. And they were battling each other. And Papoose was sitting there, and she remember, she was sitting right beside him.
Oh, I ain't seen that one.
Standing beside him, and the guy was freestyling. He broke down the whole cheating, the whole affair.
Now, is that the one where Papoose actually hit him? Remember, they said something about Papoose.
I don't think I didn't see Papoose hit him on this one.
Well, let me see. They showed a shot where he went in for a kiss, and she stopped him and pointed at the camera. I saw that. But that was the one. Thanks, Tommy. That was the one where that was Easy, and Remy was standing in the back, and that was Gotti. That was it was awful. But I didn't know. Back, man, you got to send me. I didn't know Papoose actually battled this guy too.
Yeah. So
are you telling me he told the husband out freestyling like that in the middle of him?
Yeah, he brought everything up, and he said at the end, this is how you talk to your B. Right? And that's the end of the video for me. But when he was breaking it down, Remy Ma was sitting there like, why are you saying this shit? Like, oh my God. Like Remy Ma's always, yeah, you crazy son? Not that time. Hell no. She was sitting there looking like, damn, I've been exposed.
The one that I saw when she was there too, she was just looking like straight ahead. She wasn't really, she was acting as though she wasn't triggered. And she was just looking straight ahead, like, you better win or whatever. So I don't know. The young man said the guy did tell some lies. He didn't say what was a lie, but he did say he told some lies. But you never know. I hate that. I hate that though. But wow. Again, I hope that they can get past this. There's no talks of any divorce or anything like that. So I hope they can get past this. I actually hope that she is not cheating on her husband with this little young man. But but when you don't protect your marriage and she's following him around everywhere, they go in different places. He's her I guess, like I said, protege or whatever. And this battle of the band, or this battle rap thing is her. They put it together. So she's producing this and all of that, I guess. So she's with this man an awful lot, and Papoose probably nowhere around.
She got JPSS.
Like I'm gonna know what that is. Can you help me?
Oh, I'm sorry, Jada Pinkett Smith syndrome.
Shut up. Oh, you seen the Tupac video? I ain't gonna go. We not.
Yeah, we talked about that
stuff.
video.
That's the most stuff that we ain't touched on. But anyway, I hope that they are. This is just, I hope that this flies over and everything gets in order. But if Remy needs to leave this young man alone, I hope she understands that's what she needs to do, because she don't need to lose. I think Papoose is a good guy.
Yeah,
very good guy.
While she was in jail, he just waited on
He
her.
he said one whole year he went to go see her every day. Every day.
Waited on her. You hear no scandals. You hear about it. If he did do it, you ain't hear about it.
Wow.
6 years while she was in jail, and she get out and sleep with the help.
8 years. Only 6. Okay, however many. It was a long time. I get you. But I hope they can work their way through this, and she can just save face and leave that young man alone, let him go somewhere else, or take her husband with her, or whatever the situation needs to be. But we got to put that back together. They had a good representation of a couple, in my opinion. But anyway, you think it's true then?
Absolutely.
Really?
Absolutely.
I'm giving her the benefit of the doubt, but I don't know. I have no idea.
Give it a week or so. You'll be on breaking news.
Stop. I'm gonna keep going. What is the next story, Mr. Boss? What's going on? I don't even know.
Who everybody hates. We hate him. His mama hate him. His family hate him. The white police hate him. The regular white men and white women hate him. This is a man who is hated by everyone. The only solace that God made for him was us. And when he comes to us and can't get any sanctuary at all, then he don't have no life. And then they win, because what they want to do is to destroy him and make us think that we are better than him, so that we will help the enemy destroy our own man that God gave to us. We have the best man on earth. Everybody want him. He looks better than everybody. He's stronger than everybody. He is the best, the wisest, and the most beautiful. Now, of course, many of our men have been tricked by the enemy too. But since we are the mothers, we are the first face they see. We are the first person they talk to. We the first person to feed them. We do all of that and raise them up. And so if there's a silly man out here, he didn't grow up and be silly. He was silly as a little boy because his mother mismanaged him and didn't reparent him using the truth.
Wow.
Now what we're dealing with is a man who has been wounded and repressed and taught that he does not have any value. And their solution to keeping him in that condition is to convince us to tell him he ain't got no value. And many of us do that.
Man, I love Shahrazad Ali. I love
her. She's the bomb. But listen,
oh my God.
Just in that moment, got a comment from Lady D. Guess is what she said. Now she missed the whole thing. Guess what she says? That's all your good black men talk about is getting their behind ate. Talk to those widows. I think she missed the part where I said a lady, a young girl, a young woman was talking about how she pegs men, bend them over, and toss their salads.
Yes.
She missed that part. I said a woman said this. You know what?
For a man, her turning to him.
Absolutely. You know what? I don't even know if men would actually discuss this. I mean, whether they do it or not, I don't know if they would actually take this to the platforms and discuss it. They definitely wouldn't be up there doing the dance, talking about how they did it,
Lady
or
D,
how it was done.
It's women, baby. She just come in again. Lady D, it's women saying this. Women saying that they're doing this to men. The men ain't talking about it. It's the women, baby. It's okay. It was the women, sweetheart. It's okay. We love you. I'm just telling you the truth.
See, she's the one that Miss Ali is talking about. She's the one that I talk about. You know, they try so hard not to understand. So hard. Now, I know what I said, and she knows what I said too. But she gonna put that on a black man. We have the best that we have the best man. Everybody wants them. And they're using the women to come against them. I think we might need to play that again because I don't think people heard us. I don't think they heard her. Let's wait a minute, Black men, before you say anything, let's just play it one more time. I think everybody need to listen.
Listen, Lady D. This is important. Listen to the mother.
We have a man who everybody hates. We hate him. His mama hate him. His family hate him. The white police hate him. The regular white men and white women hate him. This is a man who is hated by everyone. The only solace that God made for him was us. And when he comes to us and can't get any sanctuary at all, then he don't have no life. And then they win, because what they want to do is to destroy him and make us think that we are better than him, so that we will help the enemy destroy our own man that God gave to us. We have the best man on earth. Everybody want him. He looks better than everybody. He's stronger than everybody. He is the best, the wisest, and the most beautiful. Now, of course, many of our men have been tricked by the enemy too. But since we are the mothers, we are the first face they see. We are the first person they talk to. We the first person to feed them. We do all of that and raise them up. And so if there's a silly man out here, he didn't grow up and be silly. He was silly as a little boy because his mother mismanaged him and didn't reparent him using the truth.
Wow.
Now what we're dealing with is a man who has been wounded and repressed and taught that he does not have any value. And their solution to keeping him in that condition is to convince us to tell him he ain't got no value. And many of us do that.
There's people still not listening. Nissa said, see, they take parts out of it that makes their argument valid, I guess. I don't know. Nissa said, she said white women hate black men, but yet so many want to flock to them. Yes, because sometimes men just pick the lesser of the evil. Let's just be real. Do I want to get up in the morning and be called a bitch ass nigga? Or do I want to get up in the morning and say, honey, would you like some orange juice? I mean, not all black women are like that. Some are very beautiful women, security boss, my wife, so on and so forth. But some women wake up every morning, just like alcohol. It's like they're addicted to tearing their husbands down. And
did you just hear what she said? They use black women to tear them down. And she just made that statement. They just try so hard not to understand. I don't get it. Are you telling me the feminist movement did this? No, this is spiritual. This thing it ain't no feminist movement.
This is the
woman.
Security boss. We're the most listen, black men are the most athletic. Everything that we touch, either they're going to destroy it because they couldn't do it. But if you remove the black man from Earth, the Earth will. How long will you last without a black man? You have no NFL, you have no NBA, you have some of the most pristine doctors. You don't have them anymore. Scientists, you don't have them anymore. You have some builders. You have, black men are in great positions in life. You would just lose. So
black man, you remember? I did a video and I talked about the black man being extinct. You remember I said that about the black man being extinct? This is it right here. They're definitely trying to take us out. Most people can't understand this. And I'm talking about in the United States when I say this, because they want to make up stuff. They want to make up how the woman gonna have a baby without a man. Okay. Without the man's sperm and anything. Okay, we can have that. Okay, go ahead. Then we're gonna talk about how we're gonna make it an issue. They're gonna have them in prison. Really? The transgenders are gonna have them in prison? Really? That's going to be black man. It's such a, okay. So this is what I mean. They're trying.
Without the black men, women, you have nothing.
Listen, they're trying to take them out. And I'm telling women that they're using us to do so. And they're trying so hard not to understand what I'm saying. I'm saying they're being deleted before birth. They're being incarcerated. They're deleting their own lives because of things like this. You see that video? You see how tough I can't imagine, but I can imagine for a black man, this is a very tough video to listen to and to hear. This is very tough because she just basically said the whole world is against you. The whole world is against you. And if you don't have something working in your favor right now, or you're not successful at something, I can't imagine how you feel as a young man looking at that video. And she clearly said, because your mother is the first one to see you, she just mismanaged. She's not meaning any harm. She mismanaged, and she did not go get the help that was necessary. So now you're the grown-up silly man, but you've been silly since a child. You don't know. You have no idea what you're doing. But guess what? We're going to just spray it all. All of y'all are like that. All of y'all are like that. None of y'all are no good. Come on, black man. What are we doing? What are we doing? I have no idea why we wouldn't want. I'm just going to be totally honest with you. The other day, I was listening to a black man, and he had to be one of the most ignorant black men I have ever heard in my life. I'm not going to lie to you. And I just couldn't believe it, what I was hearing. And it made so much sense, because it is that same behavior that sets us back many, many years. It's that same behavior that's going to keep us in the trashy position that a lot of us are in. He just repeated it over and over again. And he believes in it. He says, I don't know if it's that or if it's just a talking point to have on YouTube. I really don't know. But it's just it's so much trash. There's no value. And I was like, okay, I get kind of what the women, why they say what they say, but they have to understand that this right here is not the representation. This has got to be less than 10, 15% of the black man right here. This is not much. There ain't many of them out here thinking and talking like this. No, they're not. So why are you gravitating, or why are you using him or the way he thinks as an example to keep you as a woman, single woman, educated woman, whatever, wealthy woman, whatever the situation is? Why are you using him to keep you from uplifting the others? Why do they all look alike to you? What are you really experiencing a trauma? Did your man really leave you destitute, trashed, throw you out the house, cheated on you with 10 different women, give you an STI, all those things that you talk about? Did that really happen to you? If not, first of all, why are you sharing that? That should be something shared with the counselor. Maybe your testimony, but it ain't nothing to be proud of. And hopefully we can figure out, why did it happen? Where was I in the meantime? How did this happen to me? Because I hope one man didn't do all that, but come on, black man.
And you know what, security boss?
No, I don't.
Like Anissa just said, Earth will go on. What are you saying? Without the black man, you are nothing. You don't exist without us. You don't. Everything that you have was created by a man. Yes, we love you. Yes, companionship with you is amazing. Yes, making babies with you is amazing. Making love to you is amazing. But without a black man, there's no one to learn and there's no one to lead. And so I just want to sit there. But look at this right here. If black women, put that back up, Mr. Boss, that's very important. If black women keep creating these Kirk Franklins, then we're in a world of hurt. Security Boss, have you heard about Kirk Franklin?
I hear a little bit here and there. I can't really speak on to say that I know for sure. Lied to him
and told him his dad was dead, and he buried a man with animosity in his heart. And his real daddy was living and breathing. His mother knew it, and she never told him. She knew it. And he went to her after he got the DNA test and said, Mama, you knew this was my daddy, Mama. She said, nope, I don't care what this test says. It can say 99.9% all they want to. That man ain't your daddy. She still denied it. She still was delusional. Anissa, please talk to me. Why, if that, like he just said, who said that? Orlando Deuce? Yeah. If black women keep creating these Kirk Franklin, imagine living your whole life as a man. You know how much stuff Kirk Franklin dealt with? He dealt with pornography, right? I'm not gonna say it, you know why?
Perversion, yeah.
Perversion. Yeah. He dealt with all these things he needed a daddy for, and the whole time he resented the man that died on him, and because the man didn't teach him that. In the entire time, the man that was the daddy didn't know he had a child, and the child that was a child didn't know he had a daddy.
He hated that man. He said he hated that man. That man died. Actually, didn't he do something to him? Like, didn't he go off on? I mean, something seemed like something happened.
Yeah, so and I don't understand. And right now I'm gonna hear crickets, because explain to me why Kirk Franklin had to endure this as a child, and then then the toxicity met with him and overflowed with him as an adult. This man was addicted to all type of stuff and just sexual stuff, and he didn't have a father. And then like dealing with the lady on Ayanla who told everybody in the world that he was touching his daughters, and they did a lie detector test and found out the woman was deceitful. Like, if you're raising men under these type of moms, they're not getting the nurturing they need. They're getting toxicity, and then y'all want to complain about how the men are. When Shahrazad Ali, this is who she's talking about. She's talking about the Kirk Franklins of the world, where the mamas have ruined them and mismanaged them. It's just horrible. And the man told Kirk, he said, "I'm so sorry." He said, "I swear to God, I didn't know. If I knew, I would have been in your life." He said, "I swear I didn't know. Your mama never told me."
He would have been in his life. That's like a lottery ticket. Come on. He would have been there. That man didn't know. He told the truth. He didn't know. I heard him say that. But the thing that hurt me so much is that the fact that he said his dislike, or I ain't gonna say dislike, but his, like you said, resentment for the man that did pass away. And that man thought he was his daddy too, though, black man. He thought he was.
She was a liar.
So he went to mismanagement. Like Miss Ali says, Shahrazad says, mismanagement of raising the children. And then we never got them the help that they needed. I mean, that is so well said. How can you not receive that? If your child is out there and you, as a woman, don't know how to raise him, you can't, because he's a man. Get him some help, or send him to his daddy. Open the door to being a co-parent. Find out who the father is. Stop playing these games. I
saw something today, and I saw a woman in court today with a child, and the girl said, my mama told me my daddy dead. He did. And the judge looked at her and said, "Ma'am, I know your mama been telling you for years that your daddy dead, but the man that you claim to be your daddy is alive. Bailiff, could you bring him in?" She started breaking down crying. Then the man that said he was her real father was there as well. So there's two men there claiming to be her father. They DNA tested both of them. The first one was not the father. So he was like, "Okay, cool." The second one said, "Yeah, that's my baby. I got pictures of her since she was a kid. That's my baby." He was not the father either. This girl broke down because she thought she found her dad. But watch this. After all this, they asked this woman at the beginning of the court, "Do you know who the father is?" She said, "Yes, it's that man right there." No, I'm lying. She said, "Yes, he did. Her father did. He did." And at the end, when they tested both men, both of them were not the father. The girl broke down. I mean, you could tell it just broke her so bad, because she wanted her dad so bad. It broke her down. And the judge asked her, "Mom, do you know you got two men here who are not the father? Do you know who the daddy is?" She said, "Yeah, I know who it is. I'll tell the truth." Who was the daddy? It's his brother. It was the man that she thought was her daddy. It was his brother. And she said, "You were having sex with two brothers at the same time?" She said, "Yeah, but they didn't know." What the fuck? But then we blame the men. But this girl sitting there broken. Now, this girl says she want a family. She's not going to be like her mom. She says she is married and got all her kids by one man. So thank God she found some positivity in her life where she got married and have her own kids by the same man. She said she did not going to live the life her mama lived. But for you to have two men in court that you thought were your daddy and they're not, and then your mama break down at the end and say, "Yeah, your daddy, he wasn't ever dead. It's his brother. It's that man's brother over there."
You know what, black man? When I hear you when I hear you say that, it's a terrible thing, but
it's horrible.
But what I hear is that we're just broken, both man and woman.
Yeah.
So I can't see how the men can't know that they need counseling and help also, and then the women also. So I can't see how everything about the man can be horrible and trashy, or that everything about the woman can be horrible and trashy also. I got to tell you this. There's been 2 stories I've done since you've been gone. Well, one story, I didn't even do the other one today because I was just like, wow, this is a lot. But the one, it was a young lady, JG, what's up with you? I forgot to say hello. I saw you in the comment section, but it's been 2 stories. One was JG sent me in a story of a young lady who had 4 kids, and 6, 4, 2, and 8 months. She left those 4 kids in the house to go down the street to the store to go shopping. There was an explosion in the house. Those kids, 2 of them died. The place caught on fire. She was down the street. 4 kids, black man. She was 30 years old. I said, wow, for the last 9 years, this young lady has been pregnant and she's by herself. There's absolutely no way that I think that a woman by herself could take care of 4 kids, 4 to 1. The ratio is just off. I was like, this is not supposed to happen. I need ladies to understand that we got to have some co-parenting going on. Y'all, we got to find these daddies. We got to open up the doors for these fathers to come in and be daddies to these kids. You can't force anybody to be a father, but give them an opportunity if they want it. 2 babies died. They say they heard a bomb. It exploded, black man, before it caught on. They heard an explosion. She left those 4 babies in the house while she went down the street to a store. I know she knew she was supposed to pack up these kids, but she just thought in her mind, it's going to be all right. They might have been asleep. They got the 6-year-old right here. I'm going to be right back. She probably thought all of that. Now she's got to go to the prison for some time. And she's lost 2 babies. And she got to live with that. Now today, before I came on, there was a story, and this one's crazy. I haven't even done much research, just read the article. But a woman asked her 12-year-old son for an SD card. He says, I don't have the SD card. She shot him. She turned around after she shot him the first time. She asked him for the SD card again. He said, I don't know where it is. I don't have it. She shot him again and killed him. 12 years old. And this is all on video. This woman, these women, it's just so much. They're broken. I don't know what's going on. I mean, we can imagine, but I gotta think that this was some kind of mental illness that came over this woman. But we know what it is. But I'm saying, if the child's father could have been there, I don't know how we can just be so much better than our partners that we can talk trash about them. We don't need to have it. We could talk about how their hair is falling out, how they bald headed, how they no good, how they this and how they that. Miss Security Bars, respectfully, you continue to hold these women up. You are in denial, ma'am, and this will not stand. Listen, I am not holding these women up for nothing. I'm holding these women accountable. I'm holding them accountable. I don't know if you've seen a lot of my videos, but guess what, Will? I'm so glad that you said that because normally women absolutely despise us because I hold them accountable for everything that they do. So if you think that I'm holding them up, Black Bear, what you think? Do you think I hold women up?
No.
No, be honest. If you think I do, let them know. I feel sorry for women.
I think you give them the benefit of the doubt.
I feel sorry for women. I know when a situation is overwhelming, I call women out all day, every day. I'm holding women accountable all day, every single day. Matter of fact, I don't even really deal with the men because that's not my place to do so. So,
you know what my problem is? On this, I love you, but that's not the answer. The answer is not to say men and women do terrible stuff like that. It's not the answer. Your comment should have been, this is a horrible woman and how she should be handled for shooting her son over an SD card. We're not talking about men. We're talking about women who go outside women who decide to lay with men, who give men permission into their banks, let these men deposit something in their banks, and then 9 months later you give a withdrawal, let that thing out, and then you try to raise it on your own, and then you think, oh, I'm independent, I can do this on my own, and then you go shoot your son that you carried for 9 months. You shoot your son, or there's women drowning kids and shooting kids and pouring boiling water. Let me tell you something, security boss.
But wait a minute. As you're saying that, Will is saying you can't unteach selfish behavior. Will, this is much deeper than selfishness.
Man,
that woman shot and killed her 12-year-old son for an SD card. I'm saying to you, if the father could have been there, he could have raised the child. The mother had no business even having him. That's what my thought was. Anissa, this goes the same out to you. Crazy stuff. This is beyond crazy. A 12-year-old, the girl left 4 babies in the house by themselves while she went to the store. I'm saying to you all, this is because the fathers, in my opinion, were not in the home. If the fathers could have been there, they could have had their own kids. It wouldn't have been a choice she had to make. This girl has been pregnant 9 years of her life. The last 9 years, she was only 30. That is my point. If the young ladies would open the doors to the men, not their husbands, to the baby's fathers, then this probably wouldn't have happened. That is my point. I can't change selfish behavior. Only God can do that, but I'm definitely going to plant a seed. But just to say that a woman is better than a man or a man is better than a woman, I absolutely won't say that, because there are trashy men in this world. I've heard a man just as good tell me that he going to put several babies up in a woman and he don't care nothing about marrying her or being with her. Got several already. So guess what? There's enough trash to go around. But that's not where I'm at. I'm into solutions. And I'm going to tell a woman that with 4 kids, if that's where you are and the kids' fathers are not in their lives, you need to go find those fathers. The woman that had that child and she deleted her son for an SD card, I have no idea what was going through her mind. But I happen to think if the father would have been there, this wouldn't have happened. Exactly. Those are my thoughts.
I think it should be a law passed. And I mean this. I know that somebody may giggle and smickle, but I think it should be a law passed. I think that we should stop. I think that you should not be rewarded for shooting your son over an SD card by going to prison, being able to watch TV, go to a library and read, get a degree. We pay taxes for you to eat. No. I think that we should take one of our best military aircraft, the C-130, and fly her ass over the Amazon and drop her ass down in there. Don't give her nothing. Don't give her no food. Take all these women that want to be men. They want to be independent. They're leading their children. Just drop them off at the Amazon. Don't just land the plane, drop them, and leave them.
So listen, Will says, too many of us men have suffered at the incompetence of women's lack of wisdom and truth. This is true, but guess what, Will? Guess what, Will? We're broken. Men and women. Men and women are broken. Men and women both are broken. We need help. That was my point. How is it that a woman can talk bad about a man, talk about how he's all the negative things, the trashy things that they say? You know, they try so hard not to understand what I'm saying when I know that there are good men out there. They do it. They do it every single day. But guess what, black man? Somebody did tell me that SB, there are a lot of channels out there where the men talk the same about women. Is that true, black man? I don't know. I don't hear it. I'm not in places where they do that.
Yeah, they do.
I'm not. They do? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
I don't understand. I just don't understand. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I don't
See,
know.
like this right here. Look, Lady D says, were any of them married to her? They shouldn't have laid with her. I don't feel sorry for any of them. I don't know. I don't know her marital situation. I just know she had 4 kids. They could have been one daddy for all 4. I have no idea. All I know is that there were 4 kids. There was an explosion in the house. 2 of them died. The other 2 will have lifelong injuries. That's what they said. And the mama wasn't at home. That's what I know. That's all I know. And that is a terrible situation.
Yeah, we've seen this over the years. There have been women who have left a 6-year-old to watch a 2-year-old. I'm sorry, a 6-year-old to watch a 2-month-old to go to the club, and the baby end up in the house burned for something happened in the house. In the house burned or something, and deleted the baby and the 6-year-old. Just, I've seen it. I've seen this in the news. I've seen it locally, in my town in Louisiana when I was living in Louisiana. I've seen it on the news in Dallas. It's just, you know, I'm independent until stress hits me. I'm independent till I take one of my kids' lives. Then here come the excuses. I had depression, postpartum depression. Oh, yeah. But then when a man does it, he's a devil. He's an evil man. He you know, he gets no grace at all, which he shouldn't. But she definitely should not get any grace. It is horrible. It's heartbreaking. And I'm just in awe. I cannot over an SD card.
SD card. I had to ask Mr. Boss because listen to me and my corniness. I said, Mr. Boss, now I know what I think an SD card is, but please tell me it's something else. Because I'm like, maybe I'm just thinking incorrect. But they got it on video though, Black man. This is crazy. She shot him twice. She shot him the first time as though it was I ain't gonna say a joke, but like, you know, threatening. He's lying. I'm gonna shoot him this time, then I'm gonna ask him again. But he passed away. He passed away. This woman has to be mentally insane. She has to be. But Black man, and guess what they said? Guess what the family said? I know that this is going to be basically they didn't want anybody to put this out there because they didn't want to be, you know, the talk of the town per se or you know, skepticals because this is happening. But guess what? What do you think is going to happen? This is crazy. The mother deleted him over an SD card and it's all on video.
Security boss, I've seen an investigation done by the police here in Dallas where there was a situation where a girl called her mom and said, "Mama, this baby won't stop crying. Will you please go ahead and get the baby?" The mama said, "That's your responsibility. You lay down you lay down and got that baby. I'm not coming to get no baby. You deal with it." She took the baby, put the baby in the stove, turned the stove on, and left the house.
Like, man, I'm telling you, it's getting crazy, but it's like.
But I guarantee that's one of them mamas. You don't need no man. Raise that baby yourself, but won't be the village to help raise the child. I'm telling you, all of them just, it just disgusts me. I can't. Go ahead, Scary Boss. I did a
whole video on that. They pretending like they're okay, but they're not. I mean, don't you have to be on edge? I mean, I don't even know what edge you got to be on to take a weapon and delete your child. I just can't imagine.
6 of them, Security Boss. No, I got 6 babies in a 20 to 11. I cannot imagine picking up a weapon and striking my children or shooting one of my babies. Oh my God. The thought of it just, oh my God, I can't even think about it.
Because he said he didn't know. Because he didn't know. He was, I mean, Black man, I was like, I don't even want to do this story because you got the young lady with the 4. Black man, 6'4", 2 in 8 months. She left him in the house. She gonna pay for this. She's gonna pay for this. And I was just like, this is the craziest thing I'm hearing. And then they don't think that they need the protection and the covering of a man. I'm like, you don't think you need to be with the fathers of these kids or allow them, if nothing else, to give you a break. This is crazy when it gets like this. When you get so frustrated that you can't even see that this is your son, that ain't nothing but a simple demon that has come out and just said, you know what, you out of here because of whatever reason, end up being an SD, and it was a 12-year-old boy. She had no idea she was dealing with her child. I just feel like she lost it.
Even if it was a demon, I remember my grandmother talking about demons. My grandmother said the people who get possessed by demons or who have a demonic presence about them, the devil only gets those people who makes themselves vulnerable for that possession. And I believe that. I think when you're in a situation and you go out and have kids, I don't know if they got different baby daddies or not, or they may have the same daddy. And you go out and you choose to have 4. Say, for instance, one man. You go out and choose to have kids with 4 kids with a man that you don't want to marry, or you go have 4 kids with 4 different men being irresponsible, and you put yourself in a vulnerable situation and say, "Forget these damn kids. I'm going to the store." Like this is where when people say, "What's the purpose of marriage?" It's because when you are lusting or when you want to have sex or when you want to have babies, it is best to have a 2-parent home, because she could have said, "Baby, I'm going to the grocery store. I'll be right back. Watch the kids." And those babies will still be alive.
You are exactly right. But listen, it was one comment that I wanted to see, and then we're gonna do the super chat. But it was one that asked, "Did we know the young ladies?" It was Katrina. Katrina, do we know her mental state? Mental illness is real. We don't, and no one has said anything about it that I saw. I do know in the TikTok video they gave a lot of hashtag mental illness. But let me say this to you about that, and to anybody, because mental illness is very, very real. Your family knows when you are mentally ill. Everybody knows. It's not a secret. Typically, once something happens, they declare you mentally ill, then that's who you are. You know, that's the illness that you have. We need to pay better attention. And remember, I said we have to ask those questions. Is schizophrenia, is it in your family? You know, do we know somebody around you that's mentally ill? We have to ask these questions when we're vetting to be married to each other. We have to ask these questions. But my point I'm trying to make is, if she indeed was mentally ill, that means a lot of people in that family knew that she was mentally ill and probably should not have allowed her around that child by herself, or to have weapons in that home, because now this young boy is gone for no reason. And this woman now is going to prison for an SD card, y'all. And DeAndre Malik says, thank you so much, Malik, for DeAndre, for your $9.99 super chat. He says stuff like this has been happening, and it's getting worse. Was watching a show on ID
channel, yeah.
Oh, okay, the ID channel. And mom killed her daughter because she was better than her in track. Say what? Better than her in track? See what I'm, black man, this is crazy. We are losing our mind. And all we're saying is the nuclear family is the best place to raise a child. If we do have mental illness, we're going to have to get Dr. Nakumbi on here and let him just have a conversation with a few people. But guess what? Mental illness is usually not a secret. Once it comes out, everybody knows about it. We have to pay attention, y'all. We cannot let a person who we know has mental episodes be around these young kids or do anything around these kids that can't protect themselves. And we pretend like, oh, she gonna be all right. She gonna be all right. But this opportunity, this particular time right here, it wasn't all right. It wasn't all right. It's actually terrible. I do. Will says, I do absolutely appreciate, and Will, you didn't have to apologize. I do absolutely appreciate your compassion about the conversation, men and women. I do agree with you. The Black community needs to hear this. They absolutely do. Will, you haven't been here long. I don't think so, but I got to tell you, I love women. I love women enough to tell them the truth, but I advocate for men because I know men should be in their rightful position as head of households and you know, the head servant. They should be leaders, you know, and I also know that the nuclear family is the answer. So that's what myself and Black men, we actually push for that all the time. And we get major pushback for pushing for that, because in 2023, that is not the end thing, but that's the thing that works. So when a young lady is deciding to be in a relationship and she wants to have kids, I always say to her, get a relationship with God. Make sure that you're aligning with God to be that wife that you need to be. But again, you know, we get thrown off. I don't want to be no wife. I don't want to do this. I don't want to share money. So it's a lot that goes into putting this nuclear family back together. But I know Black man ain't getting tired over there. Are you, Black man?
No, I'm not tired. I'm just upset because I think that it's what's happening today. Women are picking government funding over family bonding, and it's ruining our children. It's ruining our families. There are so many situations. They have a thing here called Help Dad something here in Dallas. I need to get with the guy so I can have him on the show or something. But they help dads get custody of their children who can't afford it. And Security Boss, one of the things the man presented, I saw it with my own eyes. He presented how much the money they're throwing at these men on cost, on how much it will cost to get their children. And some of these men can't even believe it. $5,000, $6,000, $8,000, $9,000, $10,000 to even take the first step in even trying to get custody of them babies. But they got lawyers that are going to start working pro bono to help these men get their children.
So let me ask you a question. If a man is not able, he's not a high earner, and he wanted to get his child, he couldn't be incentivized in Dallas or in Texas?
What? No, they make more money with the woman having the child. They make more because they know she's more needy. She's gonna need housing. She's gonna so we can get more out of her. She's gonna need housing. We're gonna give her Section 8. We're gonna give her a car because Texas gives away cars now. We're gonna give her a car.
Yeah, you said that.
We want to give her housing. Now they have housing. When we say housing and all that we thinking in the hood, no, sir, no, ma'am. They have housing here in Dallas that's immaculate for women with children, and they put them in beautiful neighborhoods. They're building them right next to beautiful neighborhoods and schools where they provide them with the best school in that area, wood floors, the washer and dryer, nice TVs. Like the house that they put these people in are immaculate, right? So you get a car, you get housing, you get food stamps, you get child support. All government funded, where they're making money off of you, and then they're making money off the man that you're keeping out of the household away from the children. So they make more money by incentivizing the woman than they would the man. Imagine me saying, me and my wife not together no more, and I'm leaving her. I want housing, I want food stamps, I want a car. They're gonna look at me and start laughing.
I'm gonna have to look at the laws in North Carolina, because I think in North Carolina, a man can receive benefits for having his children. I think so. In North Carolina, they can.
You say you
in
can?
North Carolina, you can. I do know some. You can. No, but wait a minute. They're not giving away cars. They're not giving away cars, but they
People
do
donate these cars, and they give these cars to these women.
I know what you're saying. I'm gonna have to look into it, but I do know they do help with housing and, of course, food and things of that nature. But
Lord have mercy.
Hey, T-Shaw. Hey, Christopher. We getting ready to go. But Black Man, it has been so good to catch up with you. I'm sorry to end on such a terrible note. Actually, I thought we was gonna end. We're gonna end on Miss Lee Ali's video, because I think that's a good thought to end with. So we're gonna play that for this last time, and we're gonna get out of here. Is it something you want us to know about you for the rest of the week? Because you've been out of here.
Yeah. The Black Men Unfiltered Network is still been rolling. We'll have a show tomorrow night as well. I'm gonna Lost in Translation, maybe your host on tomorrow. I'm looking forward to that. And then the rest of the shows, man, just hit the like button, subscribe button over there, and hit the notification button. And man, come and tune in for the rest of the week. We got a show on every day this week, and I'm working on some new shows as well. So thank you guys. I appreciate it.
All right, so I want you to take a look at this video.
Man who everybody hates. We hate him, his mama hate him, his family hate him, the white police hate him, the regular white men and white women hate him. This is a man who is hated by everyone. The only solace that God made for him was us. And when he comes to us and can't get any sanctuary at all, then he don't have no life. And then they win, because what they want to do is to destroy him and make us think that we are better than him, so that we will help the enemy destroy our own man that God gave to us. We have the best man on earth. Everybody want him. He looked better than everybody. He's stronger than everybody. He is the best, the wisest, and the most beautiful. Now, of course, many of our men have been tricked by the enemy too. But since we are the mothers, we are the first face they see. We are the first person they talk to. We the first person to feed them. We do all of that and raise them up. And so if there's a silly man out here, he didn't grow up and be silly. He was silly as a little boy because his mother mismanaged him and didn't reparent him using the truth.
Wow.
Now what we're dealing with is a man who has been wounded and repressed and taught that he does not have any value. And their solution to keeping him in that condition is to convince us to tell him he ain't got no value. And many of us do that.
All right, guys, listen, you all have a good night. It's been a terrific show, and we're going to see you soon. We might do this again tomorrow. So y'all listen, stay blessed. Continue to follow SB. Continue to share the videos, and we'll see you soon. Good night.
want the love, I don't got it.
Best of intentions, I don't get it. Why do you always gotta ask me to stay? Why you always gotta go? Playing house, this ain't a home with your soul. Say, why you always gotta go? Playing house, this ain't a home with your soul. See, I've been lost in my thoughts take to escape to usher off. Sorry, I just thought you were my world. Now you're not. And I'm just sitting, smoking, sloping in the days, cause my days ain't been the same since I drove here. But I remember the way you wrote letters to the you and me was in love. I know your mom's probably thinking that. Your pops probably want to beat my ass in my cat, but I got sick of fighting, bickering, and fussing over nothing, cussing, instead of watching the deck of discussions that we once had, days that we once spent in the backseat of our cars, poets of sunset. It's funny how love can fall out the foreground, get pushed into the back of your mind till you sit twist his breath and laugh and relax. Are you crying? I'm trying to find the reason, so I ask, does forever ever happen, or is it always fade to black? I can't stay, no, I always gotta go. Playing house, this ain't a home with my soul. On the road, I can't stay, no, I always gotta go. Playing house, this ain't a home with my soul. On the road.